everybody. I'm Soundout. These are my friends, and for the next 2 hours, your ass is mine because we're going to get this thing done in a short amount of time today instead of going on for like 4 hours and losing our minds.
But
Being
Santa,
adamant about it.
we need to talk about Emma Frost.
I would love to talk about Emma Frost, but the things I would say about Emma Frost are not allowed to be said on streams.
You can do it on mine.
That being said, she's a queen. She's an icon. She is 100% that bitch, and we love her.
I just can't. I just my God, she rivals Chun-Li.
She went to Chun-Li's gym and was like, "I'm gonna do some squats on that bench rack of yours." And Chun-Li's like, "You sure?" She's like, "Yeah, I'm made of diamonds." Absolutely. Andrew Billman said, "Why do I feel like 4 hours is more likely?" I say 2 hours. I'm aiming for it because I would like to end a little early for once, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I feel like we got enough news topics. If we don't side tangent too much, we'll be fine. That being said, side tangents are not just a possibility; they are guaranteed. You should all know this by now.
I would say, keep the tariff and political talk low. We do want a low. We're gonna mention.
I guess that's a kind of good way to start the stream. Is we all know the tariffs are going to make everything expensive if you live in the U.S. and probably other parts of the world.
And we will mention them on this stream because it's kind of the giant elf in the room.
But
like, let's keep the political talk down. We don't want to make this depressing.
Yeah, I think in a lot of ways, like the thing is that we're in a collecting hobby. If you're here, you're in a collecting hobby most likely. And so this is an undeniable reality that the price of everything is going to get completely out of whack for the foreseeable future. So let's just kind of focus on the stuff itself. And then, as always, which is something that I am starting to adhere to better than just saying it, is only buy what you want at a price you think it's worth it. If it's too expensive for what you think it is, just don't buy it. That's how it is. It sucks. And if we get dragged down into always talking about it with every single thing that comes up, we are just going to make ourselves depressed, and then we'll just be sad, and then there's not going to be any fun. So
the difference between ignoring it and wanting to just look at other stuff.
Yeah, and I think that also, like, when it comes to if we talk about the price of some things, in regards to like, oh, is this price because of the tariffs or not? Like, we'll talk about it a little bit, but I also don't think we should speculate on it because honestly, we don't really know. Except like when certain, like Nintendo said, like, oh yeah, that $450 price on the Switch 2 was pre-tariff because they didn't know about the Vietnam tariff and stuff. So there's a lot of all good stuff. Josh Frisch, good advice. Always remember to buy food before collectibles. Yeah, Mr. Tukey said cancel some of those pre-orders, folks, to save yourself around $120 reconsidering things on Big Bad Toy Store. I canceled like 20 pre-orders last night, not just because of prices, but because I realized that there was some things I was buying simply for the sake of buying them, and simply because I felt like I had to buy them, as opposed to actually wanting them. Like, they weren't exciting me on an individual level. So, I think it's a lot of time. It's going to be interesting. Hellfire, we talk about them and like showing an example of the price they're going to raise, since a lot of people don't realize how much more expensive stuff will go up. So the tricky part is, and I thought about bringing up like the chart of like the per country thing, but the reality is, until a price increase happens by a company, we don't actually know what it is, because a lot of these companies are going to be like, okay, so if we have, say for a deluxe transformer is $25, but now there's a 46% tariff on goods from Vietnam, that means that deluxe transformer is now $38. But Hasbro knows they can't sell a $38 deluxe transformer.
It is too new. That's the thing. We need to. We can't. Well, we can't jump fully into doomsday tariffs are bad scenario. But like
the situation is bad, like 100%. But we don't know exactly what's going to happen in terms of the individual pricing. We just know the prices of things are going to go up. Like, that's an undisputable fact, because even if some of these tariffs get taken away, corporations are still going to use them as an excuse to raise prices.
I know that for a fact.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's the thing. Things can always change because, I mean, how bad it is. Even the rich people are mad about them.
If you guys want to know how bad it is, go look at the stock market. A lot of the things,
isn't it crashing right now?
It's crashing pretty hard. I don't have any stocks, but at least like my economics class that taught me how the stock market works been pretty good at this point. Yeah, so I think the thing is that you're going to see a lot of it. Yeah, so Astronaut says, wouldn't the tariffs impact the production import costs, not the MSRP? And then Hasbro adds on that cost to the MSRP. Yeah, it's pretty much how it works. Because we saw during when COVID like wrecked the whole supply chain, right? We saw Transformers jump from 20 to 25, for example.
Yeah,
right,
yeah.
pretty quick.
There's the stuff that we know that been affected tariffs right now is Todd stuff, because he even confirmed like the recent page punchers were had to be dirty because of the tariffs, and his there's a news article we're going to talk about.
Yes, we have a news article that specifically says because of the tariffs, the Spawn comics are going up in price.
And there's some stuff where I'm not sure it's tariffs, the company doing the tariffs, or it's the store, because I know Hobby, like there's some
stores like I know Big Bad Toy Store has been bumping prices. Zen and TCG sent out an email saying, sorry, if you're in the US, like every order you get is going to be 10% more expensive because there's a fee that has to be paid now because there's a 10% tariff on Singapore. So
yeah, same and yeah, same with Hobby Link and all this stuff. And that's the thing is, that's the thing about tariffs right now is it's specifically only not only in the U.S. but like it's big. It's like the major thing is U.S. So
basically, to sum it up in the layman's terms, the U.S. is in a trade war with the rest of the world for absolutely no real reason.
Watch Star Wars: The Phantom Menace.
Actually, yes, and that's not even like a joke. Like Star Wars: The Phantom Menace is a great movie about trade wars. You gotta pay attention to like the dialogue heavy scenes, but there's a reason why George Lucas wrote them. It's kind of to show like how nobody really wins in a trade. Like nobody ever wins in a trade war. It always causes just all kinds of stuff. And it always, whatever like a tariff is applied, it trickles down to the consumer.
$10 super chat from James Rowe. But global tariffs affecting everything from what we buy, and prices going up, plus inflation, and eventually one day everything will go too expensive, and we can't afford anything anymore to even basic needs. Yeah, and that's what like what's not all be gloomy, because yeah, we're talking about toys right now, but this is gonna affect everything because. Let's be honest, how much stuff in the U.S. is actually made in the U.S.?
So
I think it's a very low percentage, right?
It is an insanely low percentage because, and this is something that a lot of people don't understand as well, there are things manufactured in the U.S. out of parts imported from China or imported from Vietnam or imported from I personally don't know of anything that is manufactured from scratch in the U.S. There are stuff that's assembled here. But a lot of it, almost everything's coming from another country, and this is why this is a really terrible economic move.
Yeah, because that's the thing is, and that's why the optimist in me feels like this hopefully will eventually go away, not like right away, but eventually, because it's gonna get to the point where even the rich people go like, I'm not paying like $20 for eggs.
Yes, and like also you have your corporations who are like, we're making no money. How do we solve this?
Because as we mentioned with Transformers, Hasbro, I'm pretty sure Chris Koch and the upper heads of Hasbro can go like, no one will buy this because it's literally too expensive. Like it's like that's the scenario. Like it's like who's get paid this much? Like there's a limit.
And
like,
that's also like we've seen the Switch 2 pre-orders have been delayed for the US because Hasbro has been saying, or not Hasbro, Nintendo. Wires crossed. Nintendo like literally said, we have to reevaluate the price of the console, which is them going, can we take the hit and keep it the same price? How much do we raise it before people won't even be able to buy it? So there's all that. In terms of custom charges, for like a week we had custom fees back like a couple months ago. That doesn't seem to have returned, but as with everything, keep your eye out, pay attention, keep informed. But don't let yourself drown in it because there's a lot of you can doom scroll very easily these days.
Yeah, it's like what I recommend. It's just fun. Get like if there's any hobby you guys are into, embrace a hobby because that we really need like a comfort. People really need like something like a comfort zone right now. I recently got a new drawing tablet recently with a screen, and I've been
spilled everything.
Really no. But I've been really getting back into drawing like for myself and outside business work, and it's been the most like fun I have had since drawing as an artist and such. And that's really what important right now is like find your happy place right now and such.
and as always, what like on this channel, like I work best as an entertainer more than anything. So we're gonna try to entertain you today with our show, and I think that's a good point to start.
That's a line I've been holding on for like 15 minutes, which is
Go for it.
I just want to say I'm glad to be on the stream that almost never was.
Yes. Without Kaus's help, we may not have streamed today because OBS updated and then bricked itself.
Hard.
So it bricked hard. It would not open. It would open with the "it unexpectedly quit" message. But we got it figured out, and we're all done. So thanks to Kaus. I was like, hey, can you pop on early? I need help.
Yeah.
So yeah, we had to have a Mac circle of how do we solve the Mac problem.
Yeah, I think it's just you, me, and one other person in our group.
So it worked out. By the way, in case you guys are tuning in for the first time and you're like, who are these other two people? We got Fighter Kaus in one corner.
Yep.
And then we got Ryan Darkless 643 in the other.
Hello.
Yay. Also, yes, Master Ben, it is the first stream of April. What was that?
We mine and we craft. We Minecraft.
Yes. We will talk about that in a moment. It is time to do gifting memberships. Yep, YouTube gave me that feature again, so let's do it. I'm just gonna send out all.
Oh, here we go.
Here we
Dr.
go.
Roll, we Jimmy's World, Josh Ferrick, Steve Hono Jasa, Muhammad Faidiz, Cameron Metter, Silver Brick, Brandon Yeldon, Taylor Brick, Travis Menace, Gokai Gamer.
And I think that's everybody.
Oh, and also MJ Klein at the beginning of the stream.
Oh, yes, thank you, MJ Klein. I had not noticed that because I was doing my title cards last minute because, OBS suddenly started working, and I was like, oh. So, anyways, I will also say thank you, OBS, for being a program I can use. I tried alternatives, and it makes me appreciate it.
He tried StreamYards.
I tried Streamlab. StreamYard's like, you can only have 2 commentators unless you pay us money, and I was like, no, thank you. So, thank you, everybody, and Ryan, why don't you give a rundown, everybody, in our text chat while I prep the PSA section?
Welcome, Andrew Billman, Blade Raider, Jamie World, Jeremy Carr, Josh Ferrick, K-Master 653, Kaiji Nucky 54, Common Jojo, Master Ben, Mitseki T, S4 Jason, Hellfire, Tom on Zeltrax.
All right, thank you very much, everybody here. If we missed you on the shout out, just pop up and say hi, and then
we try to check, but it doesn't work.
Yeah, sometimes YouTube the participants list works great. Sometimes it doesn't. So, and welcome all the new members. You get like a month of perks and access to early access to videos and stuff. I will try to schedule in a member stream this month.
Hey, we haven't done a membership in a bit.
Yeah, they're tricky to schedule because I do things on Sundays with family, so I have to kind of work around it. Like this Sunday, I can't do it because it's the Kaiju number 8 movie.
We can. I need to see my theaters are playing that.
Yeah, I think one of my theaters is. My parents haven't seen the anime. They just hear me talk about it in like the YouTube shorts and stuff. And I was like, it's a compilation movie. Let's just go see it. It's like they're compiling season 1 into a movie. You don't have to watch all this other stuff. You can just come watch it with me. So that's going to be kind of fun. Andrew Bellman, sometimes it doesn't. Isn't that YouTube as a whole? Yes, very much so. All right, speaking of YouTube, on the channel, we have crossed 27,000 subscribers. Thank you, everybody.
The sub count's real.
Sub count's real. We're at 27K. It's been climbing the last week.
Oh, Toma, $2.
Oh.
Do you see about the new Naked Gun movie?
Thank you, Toma. I knew I forgot something. I'm gonna go put it in the show notes. I have so many great thoughts about that movie. And it's funny. It's a 1-minute teaser. Let's see. What should we do here?
I just hope it's maximum goofy. It needs to be maximum goofy.
Oh, it's okay. Look, I'm just gonna send you the link, and then you can
watch the trailer.
Yeah, actually, just go Google the trailer because I can't find the trailer. I'm just
I'll do it. Yeah, I'll Google it.
Yeah, go Google. It's 1 minute long. I'm gonna let me stick it right here before Star Trek. Okay.
Oh, here we go. I see it. All right.
Okay, cool. Yeah. I have thoughts. It's short thoughts, but it's thoughts. All right. Speaking of shorts, wait, no, I forgot to close the article. All right, here we go.
What happened to the channel last week?
So it was haul week last week. also making me realize I might have a problem with buying things, but it's okay because I have my comic backlog before the prices on comics go up. Because if you can imagine, if single issue comics are going up, omnibuses.
I mean, thankfully, if you're not picking up any new comics, hopefully, I mean, like it's going, thankfully with books, they have a price on the back, so like
Yes.
you can't you can't
It's
pay
gonna be
me.
one of those things where like you go to buy an Epic collection in 6 months and it's $55, and then you're like, oh.
But like for manga, it's like, oh, you can't, you can't make me pay like $15. It says $10 on the back of the book right here.
Exactly, yeah. But anyways, I did go a little nuts on both hauls. I was really proud of the fact that Blu-ray haul, the first 15 minutes was me talking about all the movies I watched, because I've been trying to
Oh,
do that more.
that was a nice listen to. I went to the gym when you uploaded to that
Mhm.
video, so it's good like background noise to listen to while I was on the treadmill.
Heck yeah. Someone also left a comment and they're like, do you have a Letterboxd account? And I'm like, I don't, but maybe I should.
Okay, I
You
saw
should
it.
you probably should.
I can't wait to talk about that later.
Oh boy. Yeah, so the comic haul though, it was a little nuts. I'm not gonna go as nuts in the future, but because I got a backlog now, I'm like, I feel comfortable of like I got plenty of things to read. So anyways, I
Well,
hope you guys enjoyed those.
with the current tariffs, it is sort of we kind of need to rely on more digital stuff now
Yeah.
and such like that. So I would say people take advantage of those like Show and Jump app, Marvel Unlimited, DC Universe. Take advantage
Yep.
of those apps.
Master Ben, Somar said, "What's Letterboxd?" Letterboxd is a site where people can do their own like movie reviews. You can like rate them out of stars. You can put comments on them. You're probably going to get a lot of one-sentence reviews out of me if I do make a letterbox, but it'd be fun. Master Ben said, "Surprised you didn't do it April Fools." Only reason I didn't was because I get kind of tired of April Fools, and this year's been chaotic enough without me throwing anything into the mix. I didn't have a good gag, so you got a whole wave of Marvel Legends instead.
My favorite April Fool's gags is always gonna be like it's like a review of something that they don't normally review, but it's just 100% straight.
Yeah, no, I
uh,
like those. I think TJ Omega did one where it was like his
his
VTuber
VTuber.
was like taking over the video. Thu Adams
That's
shot.
my favorite.
Yeah, he shot a new video in the style of his old videos.
Old God, that got me nostalgic. It's like, oh man, this is like the old days.
Yeah.
One of my favorite ones is a YouTube channel I like to watch is Guile Win Quotes. He did a whole video on just random Street Fighter, like other Street Fighter games aren't actual games, like the pinball machine and
That's
pinball
great.
machine and stuff like that. I love that one. It was played 100% straight.
I also liked IGN's live stream where it was chairs like the Avengers
Oh, yeah.
Doomsday cast,
The
but then it
broom-
just started
the
throwing the
broom-
broom from Wicked, Sandworm from Doom.
Shadow the Hedgehog.
Yeah, Keanu Reeves, like
Kane from Citizen Kane.
the cave was, yes,
Wait,
exactly. That's that.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, I mean, I do kind of do movie reviews on this channel because I'm about to talk about 2 movies, and also check that Blu-ray haul. I did a stack of reviews in that, basically. So anyways, we got the whole Nemesis Wave Marvel Legends. I'm so grateful YouTube bumped the runtime of shorts up to 3 minutes, because I hated splitting those waves up, and it's just so nice I can do it in one short. It's like 2.5 minutes long. It's perfect, you know?
Possible final Build-A-Figure wave. How do you feel about that wave?
I think that wave's fantastic. I think ignoring character selection, 'cause that's always a topic, but ignoring character selection, I think every one of those figures is great. The
It's one of those.
the weakest one is
It's one of
Fabian
those.
Cortez, and he's still like solid. Yeah.
It's one of those things where it's like if you're, this is why like Dean waves are better than like Rando
Yes.
waves. Is this is all X-Men? If you're an X-Men fan, there's a good chance you know everyone in that roster
Yeah.
of figures.
And I think it was really smart too, because we got 4 heavy hitters, right? Nightcrawler, Gambit, Cyclops, Wolverine, but they're all versions we haven't gotten before. We got 3 lesser known characters with Husk, Marrow, and Fabian Cortez, and then the Build-A-Figure was really solid. And so I really do like that wave a whole lot. And if it's the last Build-A-Figure wave, that's fine. Yeah, welcome Travis's Media Madness. So another thing adding to this is that, like, I think about the Zabu wave was like the wave I hated the most from 2024, because it was half X-Men and half random shit, and I didn't want the random stuff. I just wanted the X-Men stuff. So if they're going to do Build-A-Figures going forward, which I'm not sure if they are because they haven't announced one yet, beyond this, if the entire wave is themed around one subset of the Marvel Universe, sounds good to me. I don't
I
like
never,
the mixed race.
I never finished the wave because it's money, but I think the Strange Tail wave was such a strong wave.
It was. I also really love that one. If it's all on one theme, it works out better for everybody, I think.
hmm
So, and then we also had Pain Tendo, which is my highest performing Naruto short out of
I
him
mean,
and Itachi.
two,
Yeah.
yeah.
Um,
It's one of these where it's
yeah.
like, man, yeah, I keep forgetting. Yeah, Pain's like doesn't really have much by himself because most of his stuff is like,
Mm.
like stuff you can't really do in physical
You
form
can't really
unless it's
do an effect part for Almighty Push.
yeah and such like that. So like he's
Welcome,
kind
Commander
of a
64.
it's sort of a kind of plain figure art, and that's not really the fault of Tamashi because what else
Yeah.
can you do?
I mean, he is
Apparently with
basically
him.
just Itachi with new arms and new heads, and
Yeah.
yeah. But that's fine. He's still solid though. Like, there's nothing like it's not
Was,
like he's missing
mm,
anything, right? And then
what's that now?
today I
Yeah, but I was
uploaded a
saying, so
short.
how does it feel to finally become a real YouTuber now?
Yeah,
So
I
now,
got a Raid Shadow Legends sponsorship, and that's what this YouTube short is. So guys, go check it out if you want. There's a thing of like you download and use the code that's on there, and you get like bonus stuff. So go check that out.
you
That's
should
the
get
first time I've done one of those sponsorships before. So
you should get like, I think you get like I feel like every YouTuber should get a medal honor to
yeah,
they finally become get a raid sponsorship. It's like you
yep.
finally joined us.
I know Muteki in the Discord asked how I got it. I don't know if I can disclose that, so I'm just gonna
Yeah,
pretend
ND
to.
classic
Yeah,
NDAs.
but yeah, go check that out if you guys want. It's
Like I said before, get
yeah,
that bread.
exactly. I don't think I'm gonna do a short tomorrow just because I put that one up. I would have put that short up tomorrow, but they told me I had to put it up within 24 hours. So I was like, okay, it's going up today before the stream. I was like, fine, I'll just put it up. So yeah, that was it on the channel last week. A pretty nice week, honestly.
hmm
I had a lot of fun. I know the comic call was long, but nobody complained that it was too long. So
Hey, look, I mean, we had an hour Nintendo Direct that day
yeah.
also.
All right, let's talk about movies. I'm actually gonna talk about Minecraft first. So let me switch over to I'm gonna retitle this thing and call it movie
So
time.
question: is this really in a disguised romance movie between Jack Black and Jason Momoa?
No, because I think the heartfelt romance was actually between Jennifer Coolidge and that random villager.
In the villager.
So for context of this movie, I know literally nothing about Minecraft. I've
Outside of like pop culture osmosis.
pretty much I know that Steve and Alex are characters that exist in Minecraft because they made it into Smash Brothers, and I own amiibo figures of them. I know absolutely nothing else just from stuff I've visually seen. So I'm not going to talk about it from any point of like adaptation sincerity. I will talk about it from the fact that this movie is hilarious because if you want to get like all like cinephile about it, it's like, is this a good movie? No, but nobody was trying to make a good movie. They were trying to make a fun movie. And that's what I had fun. I had fun watching this. I had fun watching Jason Momoa act against his normal type of acting. I had fun with Jack Black doing random songs. I had fun with Danielle Brooks looking like she was just confused the whole time she was there. And I absolutely love Jennifer Coolidge having scenes basically by herself and selling every single one of them.
It looks like I have no interest to watch the movie, but like it does look like one of those stupid fun movies. At least
Yes.
like it's one of those like you can turn your brain off. It's like me in the Street Fighter movie. It
Mhm.
sadly is a bad movie, but you could get some enjoyment from it.
It reminds me of that a lot. I don't think it's not near the quality of the Sonic movies. I think I enjoyed it more than Mario though, because
Nah, yeah.
Mario has a lot of like illuminationisms mixed in with his Marioisms that kind of made that movie kind of like I was like, that's movie's okay.
A cookie, kind of a cookie cutter movie.
Yeah,
Best way to
this
describe
movie's
it.
completely unpredictable. I had no idea where they were going with like half the stuff they were doing because it was just kind of off the walls. Like there's like this girl here, like she has this line where she's just like, this place makes no sense. And I'm like, yeah, that's this whole movie, and it's kind of fun for that. No, I really enjoyed it. The theater was packed. It was pretty
What's
full.
that, Mike? What's that, Minecraft? I know people are like, "How can this movie do well?" It's Minecraft.
Minecraft.
It's
Yeah, no,
Jack
exactly.
Black. Jack Black. It's of
Like
course,
three different kids were yelling chicken jockey in the theater. Like there were people quoting it. Like I was like, it was so weird because like I've seen like crazier videos of it, but this movie essentially was like the Rocky Horror Picture Show for teenagers, except the movie was opening weekend and not like Rocky Horror Picture Show, which most screenings of that movie, for anybody that doesn't know, it has such a cult following that people go in and they do crazy stuff, but it's very specific stuff they do at certain points in the movie. My dad was telling me about one time he went to one of those. And it's like a huge like cultural event thing. And they basically did that with Minecraft before like it even like existed. It was just like off the trailers and the vibes, and I think that was really fun. And then adding to that, I think in a lot of ways it was fun to watch just kind of a really dumb movie that was just really enjoyable, and like everybody in the cast was having fun. That was the key takeaway from me. It's like everybody working on this, they had a blast.
At least you haven't watched a fun video game adaptation. I watched a bad one this weekend.
Oh, which one did you watch?
I watched the Netflix Devil May Cry series. Oh man, it's bad. Like it's
As someone that's played half a Devil May Cry, should I watch it?
No, it's
I watched the old Madhouse anime.
No, I rewatched that with friends because
that was actually good.
So
I was explaining to Wheels last night why it was bad. I was like, Wheels, imagine Char piloting. Like, I don't know, I'm trying to explain in Gundam terms to him. He's like, oh, I get it.
Like, because I was watching with, it was me and two friends. Me and one of the friends was new to the series, and one of them was blind. And we all hate it because the best way without spoiling for people who do want to watch it, it's pretty gross. And not like gross because it's gory or anything, but like so pretty much they cram political stuff into the series, and Devil May Cry has never been a political thing. And I'm not saying, and I'm not one of those like, I'm not one of those people that go like, don't put political stuff in my media.
It's just Devil May Cry is not about that.
I don't mind any political stuff in media, but the problem is Devil May Cry has nothing to do with political stuff. But also like it's super tone deaf. It's super tone deaf.
Yeah.
It's would say because the best way to say it, so pretty much they treat demons, which are the main like enemies in Devil May Cry, as illegal immigrants, and they do some gross stuff.
That's literally what I was explaining to Wheels last night. So that
it's bad. It's the finale. The finale. It's also the health. It was like the most poorly time release series was having the series. The season ends with America, and I'm like wave your red, white, and blue American flag, evading the demon realm like they're evading their world country. Yep. It's uncomfortable.
That reminds me of the ending to Secret Invasion, where like news anchors were being killed because they thought they were being Skrulls, and I'm like, everything really Ryan said is
true. And my neck hurts from agreeing so much.
In the series, there's demons that are refugees from the demon world because the demon world got so bad, so they went to the human world, but they're like illegal immigrants. That's the parallel. And so the there's a military force called Darkcom in the series that one of the main leads, lady, saw like they're actually good.
Poster down.
Yeah, they're
also,
good.
Why is
nobody tunes in? They're like, what happened in Minecraft? Yeah, anyways, continue.
Because
when is Lady a sailor and has a sailor mouth?
So Lady in the series is that bad writing of language of where she says like the F word 24/7 bad dialogue. But like, so she told all like her troops, go like, hey, get these refugees out here, get to find them in the same place. And then the vice president, voiced by Kevin Conroy, weirdly enough, it told them no, like kill them, and it was framed like it was World War II Jewish execution. Like literally,
God, you have to do that stuff with like some kind of tact, and Adi Shanker's not the person to do that.
Yeah, no, because there's literally like they had these trucks, and these trucks had flamethrowers in them, and there was demons in the truck, and it was literally just the Jews. Like it was gross. Like it was not fun watching that.
I was like, where's my Yahoo Pizza Man?
Why? Yeah, I know. Wow. And also. It was frustrating because Johnny Bosch was
you're
playing
saying that the early 2000s music was a stylistic choice to remind you how tone deaf people can be when making stories.
Yes, which is that's the thing, and it's frustrating because it was also frustrating with Johnny Bosch with Dante because he didn't give a bad performance at all, but like But like it's the classic case, good actor, horrible writing scenario where like essentially getting to Bleach, I listen to Johnny and Bleach and he sounds like so good as Ichigo,
Yeah.
and then come here, it just like it feels like the directors didn't know how to direct him. He can have one voice, one set, like he has this like high pitched voice 1 second, then like 1 second go to his more Ichigo deeper lower tones. It was pretty bad. Doesn't have the Dante. It's what people think. Like, it's like what people say about Master Universe Revelations, but actually bad.
Oh
where
god, I hate. Yeah, that's right. It's like, oh god, it's
Dante doesn't have any screen
Yeah.
time, and but he's saying I would defend like Master's Revelation because at least Tila's story was good. Where here, Lady and the Devil May Cry series is pretty badly written
So
scenario.
what you're saying is I should just start the One Piece anime from the beginning and not waste my time with anything else.
Yeah, no, I don't
Yeah.
recommend it.
Okay.
It's essentially like don't like if you want to get into the games, don't watch the anime. It's
Oh,
doesn't
God.
represent.
I hate when that happens.
It's what, and I don't mind. I'm not one of those like they changed things so it's bad.
Yeah, it's
guys.
like people yell about the Darkstalkers OVA. I'm like, yeah, but that like people are like, oh, it's not goofy enough. I'm like, yeah, it was before the series got goofy.
Yeah, I'm not one of those guys
Yeah.
that go like it's. But it's more of like how they represented the original material that's bad. Like if you're gonna like again, the Sonic movies still feel like Sonic, even though they changed a lot. Which
Yeah,
is,
like they're their own
that
thing, but they still have the same vibe. We're going to be talking about vibes and franchises in a bit, Tron. But yeah, no, I'm going to pivot and say watch this good show that the image is too big. I just blocked all of us out because I was like, I forgot that I should have also talked about this because I've been loving the hell out of this show. If you happen to have Apple TV, which I got a new phone recently, so I do, and you like,
they give those free trials away like candy.
Yes, they really do. I'm thinking of activating the Apple Music one just for the heck of it. Anyways, if you have Apple TV Plus and you love the movie business, watch The Studio. It's fantastic, and sometimes it gives me trauma because it reminds me of working in the film industry. If you haven't seen the show, I will tell you that it's about Seth Rogen is playing a studio executive who gets promoted to be the head of the studio. And he's like, I'm gonna make like artistic films that'll still make money. He's like, if Barbie can do it, I can do it. But the guy that owns the studio is like, I just want slop. And so he has to like kind of deal with like I want to make artistic films. My boss wants slop. And the whole first episode is about trying to make a Kool-Aid movie. And at some point he gets Martin Scorsese on board to do the Kool-Aid movie, but it's about like the cult massacre that invented the phrase "Don't drink the Kool-Aid," and he's like, "I can sell this as the Kool-Aid movie," and then his boss is like, "No, you're just gonna bury the script and you're gonna make the slop movie instead." And there's this great line where he's like, "I got into this job because I wanted to make movies, but now I feel like it's my job. I feel like if I have to keep my job, I have to ruin movies." It's very timed into a lot of stuff, and Rogan writes and directs a bunch of it, and Catherine O'Hara's in it, and just like everything, Catherine O'Hara's the funniest person in the room anytime she's there. Yeah, it was great, and it's fantastic, and it's still airing, and highly recommended. And it's from what it sounds like, 1,000,000 times better than Devil May Cry. All right, speaking of 1,000,000 times better, man. I watched Better Man like a week ago, and I didn't know how to review it last week, which is why I didn't talk about it. But now I can because I've been thinking about this.
Is this in theater movies or is this a Paramount plus a Paramount?
It's weird. It was in theaters, but it never played where I lived. Even though it had a wide release, and it made it to theaters, it made its rounds. It's been floating around since like October last year. It finally hit Paramount Plus about 3 weeks ago, I think.
Yeah, guys, I saw the YouTube channel upload a clip from it.
Yes. This is the movie. It's so. It's hard to recommend this movie, but I'm gonna got this. Not the anime Better Man. Better Man.
Yeah, I got confused.
That's the first thing I thought of when I saw that.
Because I rolled together Betterman.
So when I first heard you talk about it,
yeah.
you could talk about the anime for a second.
No, yeah, I don't think the anime would emotionally affect me the way this movie did. So anyways, this is a music biopic about British pop star Robbie Williams, who most people may never have heard of, but if you've seen Finding Nemo, you've heard one of his songs. Learned that little...
he did that song?
Yeah, he did that song. Yeah, the thing is he does a lot of swing music in addition to pop music because he really likes swing music. And that song was like a swing tune. Yes, Hellfire. This is where the GIF I keep using comes from. This movie, they made the decision that instead of portraying Robbie Williams with an actor that's just like somebody that looked like him, they were going to portray him as a CGI chimpanzee.
Monkey.
And the effects work is done by Weta Effects, who does all the modern Planet of the Apes movies. Kaiju Night where does this fit in the Planet of the Apes continuity? Offshoot timeline.
I say, is this the Lost Planet Apes movie?
Yeah. So, the thing with this movie that like amazed me is that you can kind of think this is kind of a goofy premise and it's not gonna like work, right? You forget that he's a chimpanzee after like about 5-10 minutes of the movie because the way it's done is that this isn't literally a chimpanzee in the movie. It's how Robbie Williams sees himself because he has low self-esteem, so he sees himself as a dancing monkey. And the whole movie is anchored by narration of Robbie Williams himself. This is one of the other things. This is the thing I kind of want more music biopics to do. Do them while the artists are still alive.
Have you seen
because they can have input into it.
Have you seen that movie Piece by Piece?
I haven't, but I kind of want to now. Because it's Pharrell Williams' biopic, right? But it's done in Lego.
Yeah, it's on Lego. Yeah.
It kind of reminds me how the Weird Al biopic was a satirical parody movie.
I love that.
Yeah, and like Weird Al was in it, and this movie, they call it a satirical musical, but it is a heavy drama, and I gotta say it's probably one of the best movies I've seen in the last decade. But it most likely will emotionally hurt you in some way because
it gets really real.
It gets really real, and you think, chimpanzee, it's not going to get as real. But the thing is that, and I guess, how do I do the content warning? Heavy drug use, alcoholism, self-esteem issues, self-harm, and the ever need to chase fame to the point where it destroys things around you. But I promise you the movie's uplifting. Because the ending of it is beautiful.
So you, I say the South. Are you sure you're talking about? Are we sure it's not a YouTuber you're talking about? What you're describing?
Yeah, it depends. So the thing is with this movie is that as somebody that does stuff in an entertainment space, like here on this channel, and then somebody that also like has other life experiences, I connected to the movie a lot, and it kind of made me realize some things that I've been thinking about. But I will say that in terms of a movie, it is absolutely fantastic because what is one complaint that we always get in movies and TV shows lately? That everything's explained in dialogue and they never show anything.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
This movie shows you things. Instead of discussing what is happening, it shows you them through a musical segment. And the musical segments don't feel like, oh, we're going to put a musical segment in. It feels like this is how we're telling the stories through the music. And it's incredibly well done. And there's a bunch of behind the scenes stuff on it. And the other thing I was kind of, after watching the movie, I was like, how much of this movie is made for the movie and how much of this is pulled from real life? And I'd say about 80% of it is real life things that happen. And then they kind of tweaked the timeline of some events. They kind of, set up some scenes to make it more like thematic for the movie itself. But, for Robbie Williams as a person to be a producer on this movie, to be involved in filming and be involved with the script writing and to be involved with the production, to put this much of his life and specifically this much of the negative parts of his life into a project is honestly really commendable. And it's made me, I've been listening to a bunch of his music because I didn't even realize I would like any of his music, but watching this movie, I was like, oh, I've found like a new favorite musical artist. So absolutely highly recommended, but I gotta warn you, it is a very heavy movie.
My favorite part is he was literally LOL. Everyone thought you were dead because he had like a 15 minutes of fame in the early 2000s over here.
Yes.
And he like fell off the face of the earth to the extent that even
I remember him though.
He fell off the face of like America. But like in Europe, he kept blowing up after.
Well, no, supposedly a lot of Europeans said he was like still mixed too.
Yeah, the thing is that his career highs were when he was high, which is kind of like, the movie does not take his entire life into consideration, which is kind of like the worst parts of his life. But the thing I found interesting is that essentially like he stopped trying to be like worldwide famous after a certain point and just sort of started to be like, people know who I am and that's okay. Like he kind of like he had a fame addiction in a lot of ways. But the thing is, like, a lot of people didn't know who he was when this movie was announced and stuff. Um, and I didn't know who he was. I didn't really had no idea. I had no idea who he really was, but now I feel like I understand more because I looked into the movie and I really enjoyed the movie. And I think that it's very interesting to see like how fame affects people differently. And this movie is kind of an exploration of that. And on top of that, it's a really solid musical drama. Um, and so I highly recommend it if you're interested. But yeah, heavy subject matter.
Unrelated to that, have you ever seen Jordan Peele's Nope?
Yes, I have. Yes, I did watch it. Yeah.
Yeah, because that's a similar movie that goes into like in terms of trauma with in a much more sci-fi monster alien movie,
Yes.
but like it do like how they didn't treat animals, for example, and stuff like that in that film.
Travis says, yeah, I think you sold me on Better Man. I wasn't sure about watching a movie where the chimp is the lead based on commercials, but now I'm sold. Yeah, and if you want to be like super sold on it, like I think it's the clip that everybody shared around because the easiest one to see out of context. It's the performance of Rock DJ on Regent Street. It's an entire like complicated musical number that is done as a one shot. It's shot like a one shot take. And it's like it's got 500 dancers on a busy street in London. And it is like it's cinematic gold. Like it's just incredible to see like how they put that together. And it's a fun sequence. Whereas there's other musical sequences I say are better sequences in the movie in terms of like the emotional impact. But that sequence, if you want to get a feel for like how the movie is shot, that's a clip to see. For sure. So anyways, I think that's about it. Then you got questions on this?
Oh no, I'm definitely interested to watch it now.
Yeah.
Especially, I
Make
didn't
sure
watch
you're
Morty's
emotionally
kind of.
stable going in. Like if you're
Yeah.
feeling dad one day, this is not the movie to watch. Like this is the movie you're watching you on a good day.
I need to watch more of these kind of biopic films because they're always like it's a really good insight of the people, their people, and such like that.
Especially if you're in a creative field, like if you're in a creative field, you will connect to like stuff, almost guaranteed. Miyazaki says Oscar worthy. Yes, it only got a best VFX Oscar, but it should have gotten more. Honestly, it like like and I think it won 4 awards at the Australian Film Awards, which I was really glad because the best lead actor at the Australian Film Awards was for this movie, and he was performing under motion capture, which motion capture performances never get recognized for acting Oscars, even though they should. American award shows never let like motion capture people get nominated, and it sucks because they do a lot of great stuff. But yeah. Also, last thing I'll leave you guys with, you'll never notice it until I point it out, but this is a chimpanzee with eyebrows.
You're right.
Yeah, chimpanzees don't have eyebrows. But anyways, yeah, great movie. Yeah, I do recommend it. So, all right. Anyways, anything else before we move on?
Don't you have an interview you need to promote?
Yes, which is why I was waiting for Wheels to show up. All right, Wheels. I know he went on deafened. Never mind. He doesn't even know I'm here. Let me.
He didn't just mute. He deafened. Oh boy.
He not just muted. He deafened. All right, I'm just gonna pop it up here. All right. So on Hero Club at hero-club.com, we have a brand new interview. It's a text interview done with Ken Kosugi, as we've listed him. Tokusatsu legend. He's been in Godzilla, Ultraman, Super Sentai, Kamen Rider, and more. For example,
He's Jiraiya and Kaka Ranger and Ultraman powered host
and a Kamen Rider in a Revice movie. Kaus, I gotta ask you the question: why should people check this out?
Because he's one of the goats.
That's a good selling tactic.
Not legit. And if you don't know, his dad was the guy who made ninjas popular in Hollywood in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
Sho Kosugi. So, because we asked him questions about his dad too. And then YouTube died on me.
YouTube died?
I got the O-Snap reference.
Oh no.
O-Snap error.
Well,
The sheet's going for fine with
Okay,
my end. Don't
okay.
worry.
okay, cool.
No. It's
Yeah.
it's a thing with my Mac. It just like randomly will do that
Oh,
on
so we're
streams.
talking. So I went to grab my dinner.
Yep.
Ken Kasugi.
Ken
I-
Kasugi.
I
Yeah.
came back and we're all talking about that thing that I was pursuing for like 5+ years on social media.
Yep.
And then I finally just was like, all right, let me do it this
Like
way.
Godzilla Final Wars.
Kaiju Negative Divorce said,
great.
asking why we should check this out is like asking why we should drink water. Good point.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Pretty much. If you don't go and check out this interview, which is not a video, we weren't able to sit down with him. He was too busy.
But he still
So,
look at how much he
I
responded
I
back
appreciate
to
the
us.
fact that he legit answered and didn't just he actually answered like he took all his questions serious, which
Like
I
he
appreciate.
gave
I appreciate.
24
I bet
questions
only a
he
few
answered.
of them he gave shorthanded, but like he actually put a lot of thought into some of them.
Yeah,
Mhm.
exactly.
Like he gave it. This is a lengthy article.
It's like one of our best interviews next to like the Jeff Nemo interview and such like that.
Funny story about the interview too. I don't think he was aware how many of us actually know actors' names in America. That when he sent me the questions, he actually just wrote the character names for the Kaku Rangers.
Yeah, he was
So,
just like Ninja
Whenever
Blue,
he
but,
referred to them, he was like Ninja Blue, Sasuke. So like, and he said, "Yo, edit them if you feel like it." So I just added in the actual actor name and character names because like some of them were like Ninja Red. Like he wasn't sure like how well I guess versed American fans are. Because
Yeah.
I guess he just assumes that like we're like Power Ranger fans only, where I guess we only remember like maybe colors or team names.
And yes,
Like,
we did ask
Hero Club
about
does its homework.
we did ask about Kaku Ranger Act 3 and how that came to be. So there's some details in there as well. Yeah, this is a great interview. Got to give credit to Wheels and everybody that worked on this because like you guys did amazing.
Like pretty much like
pin this.
Like
there you go.
Like I said,
Mm.
I busted my balls for years trying to get a hold of him. The people that I knew couldn't get a hold of him. Because like back in the day, he did an interview with Henshin Justice. The people who did the interview with him, like Keith and the other guy that set it up for Keith that I know, they couldn't get his contact for me. And so like I did a lot of the legwork, literally. I went looking all over the place to get in contact with his agent or media people over here. And I did it. They got me right to him after I said everything that I did. And the only thing that pissed me off, the only thing that like pissed me off a bit was just that like his scheduling just didn't line up because he's done so many English interviews lately in the last couple of years for Sasuke as well as his other action roles here. That it just kind of sucked because I know a lot of our viewers, a lot of our fans, they like our video content a lot more.
Mm-hmm.
So I knew that was going to hurt because I know some of our unfortunate thing in the Tokusatsu community, they're always outspoken that there's a wide range of dyslexia at least in the Super Sentai Tokusatsu. Like I guess a lot of people are affected with this. Yeah, no, like allegedly a lot of them are affected by dyslexia that they hate reading anything.
Yeah,
like they're just like they're that
which is understandable.
I mean, I know it's hard for me.
Text to speech programs exist though, right? You know.
Yeah,
I don't use them as much.
The article. Yeah.
I don't use it as much, even though I should. It's just I don't like her voice.
Yeah,
but
that's fair.
That's that's what I've been told is that like a lot of people, because that's why they're always complaining about fan subs, is that a lot of people unfortunately may be on the spectrum a bit and may also suffer from dyslexia. So like that was the only thing that loosely annoyed me was just that
it's why English dubs are important.
Yeah. It's like one of those things where like for me like English dubs is like just here or there personally, but like I'd rather the option exists for people that can't read. The people like the people that can't read like subtitles. So reading subtitles is an art form too because sometimes they go fast, you know.
Like that's the thing is like that's the only thing that upset me a bit. Like I said, like I'm glad he gave us the interview. I'm glad he was so kind. I'm glad he was mad chill. I'm glad he even tried to look for photos, and he said, and when I was asking him for photos to use, I was hoping he had behind the scenes photo, And he literally was like, "Nah, I don't have a lot." And he goes, "And a lot of the photos I have are like," he said to me in the emails. He was like, "Oh, a lot of the photos I have are actually the ones that you see on social media are either ones that the other staff gave us, like the Polaroids,
Yeah.
or they're literally photos from like the other actors' albums." Because one of the photos he shared is actually from Satomi Hirose, because she has the original photo. Because I found that out because she was recently re-showing the photos that Kane had and saying, "Oh yeah, I gave out a copy to all the other guys." So when they share it, like, so I found out just recently that a good portion of, like, I guess behind the scenes photos are Satomi's or other people on staff. So that's like why that image at I think the very bottom where they're standing there that Kane had of them on the bottom where he's like standing on a pedestal or something is maybe one of her photos that she gave him. What I've found out by doing digging with Kane to try to find images for this article.
Yeah.
And also, I was afraid to use other articles from Ultraman, the Ultimate Hero, because I'm not in contact with the original people who uploaded the interview, or am I in contact with the actual executive producer. Even though I'd still source them, I don't want to have the headache of me still crediting them and them getting mad that I put it up without their consent. I just found a free-to-use photo from Subaraya.
Yeah.
Because there was another group called Vantage Points that interviewed one of Ultimate Hero producers, and she gave them a shit ton of behind-the-scenes photo of, like, Kane on set and shit like that.
All right. Welcome, Sentai Ranger Donnie. I think it's time to crack into our news. I said 2 hours. It's probably going to be over, but I think we can knock out a bunch of this. You guys ready to do this? You guys ready for, like, rapid-fire news time? I think we should get the energy going. You know, let's do it, right?
Yeah, sure, but give me a sec, guys. I need to do something. I'll be back.
Okay. Should I still talk about the Transformers Compendium? Because I'm probably going to bitch about mapping.
I mean, you said you wanted this done soon.
Let's do it. All right. I will. Oh, I know which thing Ryan's going to want to talk about most. So I'll talk about this for a minute. All right. So, with the Transformers Compendium, Kickstarter coming up for Skybound, we've been sort of wondering how the books are going to be individually mapped out in terms of like what issues are included in each volume. We'll know soon. We'll know very soon. The Kickstarter is starting tomorrow. I think I should get up early for that because with G.I. Joe they offered a signed edition if you were like one of the first few to do it, so I might do that. It's dropping tomorrow. We'll have full details about what's in each book and all that. But the second paperback pre-order has gone up on Amazon, and this contains Transformers 45 to 80. This was the Marvel US series, Transformers the movie adaptation 1 to 3, and Generation 2 issues 1 through 12, which was actually a bit of a surprise. See you later, Mr. Tanuki. It's actually a bit of a surprise because G2's never been collected in full before, and it's nice to see. I thought they would have split it off to its own volume, but they decided just to roll it into this one. The only thing that I do have one concern about, and I don't know if this is going to be an issue, is that the G.I. Joe crossover is not in either volume, and the G.I. Joe crossover is kind of important because, I don't know, spoilers, Bumblebee dies in the G.I. Joe crossover, and then he's rebuilt as Goldbug in the Transformers crossover. And then adding to that, there's like 4 issues of G.I. Joe that lead into Transformers G2. It's not an issue if you buy both books, but, you know, it would be kind of nice if it's all together. But we'll see, like, how it goes tomorrow when the Kickstarter launches. See you later, Jamie's World. Cass, you got any thoughts on book mapping? I mean,
not really, other than like it's interesting that Bumblebee gets rebuilt.
Yeah. I'll see you later, Andrew Billman. That's kind of just how it works. Yeah.
I find it funny though that in the comics he's rebuilt with G.I. Joe. In the TV show, it's just the hate virus.
Well, because G.I. Joe blows up Bumblebee. They just shoot him at point blank range and he's dead. And people say that
That's what
like,
John Cena would have wanted.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I thought that John Cena was playing a G.I. Joe in that movie because it reminded me of that crossover. Yeah, it was crazy. Yeah, so I don't know exactly. You know, they can also still be tweaking stuff because mapping is not always.
Listen, if John Cena ends up
adapted.
retroactively becoming a G.I. Joe in the upcoming Transformers movie, that means both he and The Rock were G.I. Joes. Meaning
Yes,
they're both
That
G.I.
means-
Joes. Means they're the biggest
You know
heels
what
in
I
wrestling
think's
right
gonna
now.
randomly happen
yeah.
it wouldn't make sense, but randomly it's mask.
That's a
Wait a
G.I.
minute, what?
Joe's Mask. Or Mask is a division of G.I. Joe. I've always liked that
Yeah,
idea.
which is
Yeah. Yeah, I've always loved that idea that like they're a division of G.I. Joe. Okay. Next up, we have Image Comics has announced that they are raising the price by 33% on their flagship Spawn titles as the tariffs increase publishing costs. So Todd has kept Spawn at $2.99 an issue since 2010. Prior to that, he held it at $2.95 for 5 years prior, but he's held it at $2.99, and now he said because now that the average cost of comics is $3.99 to $4.99 an issue across the industry, Spawn are now going to $3.99 for its 6 ongoings and like 5 spinoffs. Anyways, that's a sign right there that these are affecting our prices on stuff. I'm still going to keep up with the 6 Spawn ongoings I'm reading because I do want to support McFarlane and everything. And I think that this is like it's a reality. But I gotta take my hat off. I gotta tip my hat to Todd for keeping
for
that
real.
price for 15 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And even now, he's even like, I'm gonna raise it, but I'm still gonna be lower than these guys. Like,
Exactly. He could have raised it to 5, right? And he only went to
could've.
4. It really is. It really is one of those things where it's like, yeah, I kind of knew this would come eventually, but it's Todd's still trying to keep Spawn fairly priced, and I got to give him a lot of credit for that, for sure. All right, next news topic: X-Men by Chris Claremont, Prelude to a Future Past. So there was a Marvel-made Paragon collection, Chris Claremont, which was a limited edition prestige hardcover in 2020. This included a prologue to Days of Future Past that was by Chris Claremont and Salvador Larroca, and I think somebody else. It was a cool thing. I never had a chance to read it because I never had that hardcover. It was kind of hard to get and stuff. I'm not exactly sure how it was released, to be honest. So what Marvel's doing is in July you can get Prelude to a Future Past as well as the 2 issues of Uncanny X-Men that are Days of Future Past. And it'll be all rolled together into a one-shot. That's probably going to cost like $7-8, but I'm definitely picking it up because if you guys have never seen my top 10 X-Men stories list, I really love Days of Future Past.
Wait, who's that on the cover?
That's Bishop.
Nightcrawler, obviously. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, it's Bishop.
Yeah, it's Bishop.
Okay,
he's kind of in a different look.
Yeah, I have it like.
Yeah,
because I was like, is that Bishop or is that Danny Trejo? Okay.
It's Danny Trejo playing Bishop.
Bishop.
Yeah, no, it's Bishop. I'm really interested because Iron Man's there as well. Like usually we in Days of Future Past we never see anybody that's not a mutant, right? So I'm really excited for this. This is actually really cool because it's a good. It's neat too because I'm looking. It's like, oh, it's gonna roll Bishop into the Days of Future Past story, kind of like the X-Men animated series did. But when they did Days of Future Past originally, Bishop wasn't created yet. So I'm pretty excited for this. I think it's pretty cool. Yeah, it's coming out July 2nd. They didn't put a price out, and we all know why. And I'm glad that a story that was locked to a limited edition hardcover, and they just kind of put it out like this. I think it makes a lot of sense.
I'm just glad that like they actually are saying, oh yeah, the other Marvel heroes had to be involved with this, because something that's always irked me with X-Men lore is that you would think that when the Sentinels went rogue and started going after humans and other people, you would have thought that book would have the actual Avengers or any survivors of the Avengers involved with this giant world endings. No, it's just the X-Men, and this is why sometimes I hate the X-Men.
And this is that's why I kind of like Days of Future Present, because it involved Franklin Richards and kind of explained why the other Marvel heroes weren't around. They kind of like retroactively were like, and here's why everybody else wasn't there. And I kind of appreciate that as well. That they've kind of worked to kind of rectify that. And also, shout out to the X-Men animated series, because they also would throw in non-X-Men characters into their future timeline stuff. So that was mostly because Larry Houston was like, we're just going to keep drawing things until people tell us not to do it anymore. It's just how it goes. All right, Kaus, let's talk about the hype news of last night.
All right.
So for the first time ever, as far as I know, City Hunter and Cat's Eye are
Yes!
coming out in English.
Yeah, you're like, Kaos, are you here? And I'm like, yeah.
Yeah. I specifically was like, wake up, and it was like, yeah, I'm here. I'm like, no, wake up, because like it's news. It's like get hype news.
Soundout was like at Jerry going, wake up, shake up.
Wake up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Turn the system down. No,
So these are going to be omnibus editions from Kana Publishing, retailing for $26.99. They each contain 3 volumes of the series. Volume 1 of each is September 9th. Volume 2 of each is January 16th. So these things are going to just be rolling out, which is
I'm so hyped
fantastic.
because I remember last night I even told you I'm so glad they're omnibuses and they're not that expensive.
Mm-hmm.
Especially with how many chapters I believe City Hunter goes on longer.
Yeah, City Hunter's 35 volumes and Cat's Eye is 18. So we're looking at about 12 volumes on City Hunter and about 3, 6, 9. So about 6 volumes for Cat's Eye, I think. Yeah, no, this is really exciting. I'm sure we'll get more details as things go along, but it's really, really nice that that is. Oh, Travis does not remember what Cat's Eye is. Let's find out. Cat's Eye. Let's just go pull up the anime image.
Well, it's. Do you like Thieves? Yeah. Soundout's gonna show you.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull up the Thieves.
It's getting a remake.
Yeah, they're doing an anime remake after they did their Lupin crossover. It's funny because what was it? The copy text for the City Hunter is like James Bond meets Lupin the Third.
Magic plays dancing.
Yeah, no, Cat's Eye's great. City Hunter's great. They're actually in the same
the
universe.
basic premise. Yes, they are same creator.
Yeah.
So the basic premise is they're thieves trying to get their dad's stuff back, and they're like,
oh no, why did everything freeze?
Having a lead in anime where they're
Okay, yeah, just
freeze?
do that bit again because I'm not sure if it froze because my side froze.
Dang. The premise of Cat's Eye is they're thieves trying to get their father's stuff back that was part of his collection. And I don't know if they're the earliest, but they're one of the early. Yeah, it's painting and artwork. But their dad was actually German, so they're actually like half. They're actually mixed.
That's pretty like rare for that time too.
Especially that time in anime, where the leads are all like are not pure Japanese.
It's like how everybody forgets Lupin the Third is French.
Yep. Yeah, he's French.
Yeah.
He was what, 70s?
Yeah, in the 70s. Yeah, and City
60s.
Hunter is, I guess this is from a recent movie, but anyways, Ryo Saiba is the #1 louse in anime. This man has like 0 tact and is like obsessed with women and stuff, but he's actually really good at his job. You just don't know it. You just like look at this guy.
He's
an idiot, but,
he acts like a goofball, but then he's like one of the most serious, like skilled people ever.
I think in a lot of ways, Sanji from One Piece is modeled after Ryo.
I would be surprised.
Like
his voice actor's also Kenshiro's, and Kenshiro said that he I forgot his name. Akira Maeda? No, that's a whole nother. Who? No, that's a wrestler. I forgot the voice actor's name, but he said that his favorite character to voice is Ryo.
Mm-hmm.
Which is something because he's also Kenshiro, and Kenshiro's great too.
Yeah, I think both animes are on Retro Crush.
Right? At least City Hunter is. I haven't seen Fist of No Star there. Let me double check.
Where's Cat's Eye?
Oh yeah, Cat's Eye is. I'm watching both on Retro Crush.
Yeah, I'm watching both
City
on
Hunter and
Blu-ray
Cat's
because
Eye.
I went and bought all the Blu-rays for them.
I mean, I'd rather watch it on Blu-ray.
Yeah,
I'd probably actually get it done.
Yeah, I have trouble like finishing shows on streaming, but when I have them on disc.
Me too. I exactly. Well, on disc, I finish.
I think it's when it's on disc. I feel like I bought this. I should watch it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. No, they're both great series. I'm excited to read these mangas, for sure, because we've never really had the chance to do so before.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
I don't think I've read scanlations of them. I just straight up haven't read them.
Yeah, it's really awesome to see. All right. I'm gonna save the Marvel Rebels thing for when Ryan gets back. All right, so entertainment news wise, the Chainsaw Man movie for the Rize arc is coming up, and we got we've had this poster, we've had the trailer. The big question has come up of how is this movie getting distributed, right? And it is going to be coming to theaters. There was a guide put out here. which is pretty handy. So the first time it'll be available to see is in September in Japan. Is September 19th, and then it goes to Hong Kong September 24th, Malaysia, Singapore, Thailand on the 25th, India, Indonesia, Philippines, South Korea, Taiwan, Vietnam on the 26th. Then on October 22nd, it's coming to France. October 29th will be United States, Bulgaria, Finland, Greece, Iceland, Nigeria, Sweden, United Kingdom, Germany, and Belgium. Then on October 30th, Croatia, Denmark, Hungary, Middle East, Netherlands, Portugal, Serbia, Slovenia, Israel, Italy, Austria, Switzerland, Australia, New Zealand, Mexico, Brazil, Argentina, almost said Argentina. Argentina, Bolivia, Central America, Chile, Colombia, Ecuador, Peru, Uruguay, Venezuela, Latvia, South Africa, Estonia, Spain, and more. And yes, a lot of people did point out what happened to Canada.
What happened to Canada?
Canada's not on the list to get this movie.
Well, maybe it's because, you know, the fear is inevitable. It will be ours, supposedly, says people that are defectors of Canada as well as people in our country.
It's really dumb that like Canada, like there is an and more, but it's like, why didn't Canada get included? I will also add that
Or it's not included because of the Quebecers.
it could be the Quebec thing, like because don't they have to have like a specific like? Well, then again,
Yes,
it's coming
they
out in
gotta still
France before it comes
provide-
out here, so
You're still gonna provide a goddamn.
they have to do
French
2 dubs,
version.
right? Like 2 dubs, 2 subs thing. Like
They usually have to.
yeah. Yeah, Blade Raider,
That's
Yakko Warner
Quebec.
presents The Countries of the World. Damn it, I should have done that gag.
Ah, man, I love that one.
That one requires prep time, though.
It does.
Yeah, is Chainsaw Man coming to Blu-ray? Psycho Mantis asks. I don't know what happened because it can't. Crunchyroll released it in the UK already, like
I remember when
over a year
I
ago.
remember you telling me this way back when about like why
Yeah.
is UK yeah, I remember that. Still haven't said anything?
Still haven't said anything about a US release. You could import the UK release because it's an AB disc. It's not like it's not region locked to region B, but like yeah, it's weird that Crunchyroll US just hasn't like done a version for North America. Very odd. But yeah, no, it's coming out. It's definitely going to be accessible. All right. Next up, movie trailer, the Naked Gun reboot, starring Liam Neeson. We went from Leslie Nielsen to Liam Neeson, which I think is just part of the gag.
Somebody
as well,
made a
right?
joke. Somebody made a joke. It's like, get me Leslie Nielsen. He's dead. Well, guess what? His name sounds similar.
Yeah. Liam Neeson is hilarious for those that don't know, and part of the bit here is that he's playing everything seriously, right? Which is what Leslie Nielsen did in the original Naked Gun movies because they're spoofs of cop movies, right? So they put out a teaser trailer, and the teaser trailer has basically 2 gags. The first gag was Liam Neeson's character is dressed as a little girl to stop a bank robbery, which was pretty funny. But then the second gag was making fun of legacy sequels, where it's he's like
That had me laughing out loud. That part.
It's like he's looking up at like a portrait of Leslie Nielsen, and he's like, "I miss you, Dad," even though like the age gap does not make any sense, right? And then it goes to the next guy, and he's like the son of a guy from the original movies. It goes, and there's like a whole line of people, and they're all crying, and they're like, "I'm gonna do you, Dad, proud." And then it puts up the picture of OJ, and the guy who's OJ's son just looks at the camera and just says, "Mm-mm."
That was the only good thing about this.
But it's only 2 gags, and if you're hitting a 50% hit ratio, you're doing pretty good already.
It's just like I'm like, one, this is probably the only gag we're gonna have that's good. Because I mean,
I hope
Naked
not.
Gun.
I don't think
Especially
so,
with
because like the people
facts.
working on this are really talented. This is not like unknown people working on it. It's got a lot of potential. They have the self-awareness down. That's the important part. They have what I mean in that is that they have the self-awareness to know they're not the original Naked Gun, you know, but they can still try to do the same things that stick. And who makes spoof movies anymore, right?
I know, right? Back that when we haven't seen him since what, the mid-aughts?
Yeah, I mean,
Maybe.
I think because everyone got it burned out on Scary Movie and every one of its spinoffs, and so they kind of stopped making them. But yeah, I don't know. This trailer was solid to me. I thought this it's not even a trailer. It's like 1 minute, but I think it was just it was a really good impression of what we're gonna get. So yeah, I don't know. I really love that bit at the end though with OJ. They're like, yep, we're not going to be glazing OJ here. Yeah, they are working on Scary Movie 6, and I wonder if that'll also do well. I don't know. We'll see what happens. I'm excited though. I went from like, oh, maybe it'll work too. Oh yeah, I think we're in good hands. I think they understand what they're doing. So.
Well, here's the one good thing. As long as they don't steal as many jokes as the original Naked Gun guy did, we're good.
Yeah. But stealing jokes is the entirety of the industry. The comedy industry. All right, so.
Even though they tell you you're not supposed to steal jokes.
Yeah, you're not supposed to. It's like when I get mad at the Oscars, and they made like a new rule. They're like, you can't use, if your music wants to get nominated for an Oscar, it can't use anything from another piece of music. And I'm just like, I that's so dumb because music's a language. Like everybody's music pulls from somebody else's music because it's a language. It's not a science. You can't make unique music. Seth MacFarlane's producing this?
Yeah.
Oh, that makes sense. That man has like the mental capacity to remember the most random trivia about movies. The first Naked Gun's on Tubi if anyone wants to check it out. It's good times.
I'm back. What did I miss?
You didn't miss the Marvel Rivals comic because I saved it for you.
Oh, what did we cover? Well, I was
we covered the other comic book stuff, and then we covered the Chainsaw Man movie, and we talked about the Naked Gun trailer, which is what we were technically still on.
How was that? I didn't check. I didn't see much about it. How was it?
Okay, so basically we talked. The Naked Gun trailer had like 2 gags. One of them was Liam Neeson dressed as a small girl to save people in a bank robbery, which was absurd. And then the second gag is that everybody in the police department is looking at photos of their father, and they're all characters from the original Naked Gun movies. But when you get to the photo of O.J. Simpson, the guy playing his son just looks at the camera and just shakes his head. He's just like, no.
I didn't get that joke because I haven't seen the Naked Gun movies forever.
Yeah, O.J. Simpson was.
O.J. was a big part of the old movies. Yeah.
Yep.
Was that a gag? Was that a gag on the character or the actor? I didn't know.
It was a gag on the actor because O.J. Simpson's he's dead now, but he went to jail for a long time for murdering someone.
Okay.
Or other things. I don't remember. It was a whole big thing. The O.J. trials were like one of the first televised trials.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember those days. I'm probably the only one, well, because Wheels was around, but you're probably how old?
I don't think I was
the only one old enough because I only saw it.
Yeah,
I was like 2 and 4, and like I remember them talking about it on the news.
I remember
but I never understood
Judge
why it was a big
Ito and
deal
everything,
to,
man. I remember.
Is Cass really that old?
I mean, at least right now he is. But we found out in the server there are others that are older than him.
Yes, let's see. When was the murder trial of O.J. Simpson? Because this is where the tangent we're going on now. It started June 1994 submitted June 1994. It started January 1995. It was decided October 1995. So I was born in the middle of it.
Yeah, so I was 6.
Yeah.
Yeah, the glove don't fit. You must have quit.
I just remember them talking about it a lot on the news when I was little. I did not learn about the glove don't fit till years later.
Yeah. All right.
And how Judge Ito was everywhere.
Exactly. Hellfire brought up the Kamen Rider Global thing. When that materializes into something to talk about, we'll talk about it. For now, it's just a Twitter account. And I'm like, cool. If you're going to globally push Kamen Rider, globally push it.
They ain't gonna.
Yeah, that's what I mean. We've had so many false starts. I'm like, let's just we'll report on it when it's something solid. Ryan, do you like Marvel Rivals?
Yes.
Okay. Do you like comic books?
He was asking me. Wheels.
I know that's the joke. I was making the joke. See, no.
Hey, you got a video game on the Switch Direct.
You know what's interesting is I thought Marvel Rivals for sure was going to get announced for Switch too. I had a feeling, and apparently not. But maybe it will later. Anyways,
that was the only thing I think of when that like a Dragon Dry game is Wheels, the video game.
I didn't want to I knew Wheels was going to get tagged a whole lot by the game that's like basketball.
Oh, we were there live with him.
We were there live, and we literally were jokingly we were literally like.
Kevlar even made it a soundbite in the Geek Fighters Discord. We hooping.
I said we ballin' and we hooping, bro. But like he only clipped the we hooping. I said we ballin' and hooping. And I'm like looking at, I'm like, why'd you only clip half the quote?
Well, anyways, Wheels gets a game. True to life, right? You do all of those basketball things, right? Like that's just what you do.
No, not really.
You do backflips off the hoops,
I'm
right?
pretty sure
But
I've seen
that's
Wheels
actual. Well, that's
break the
actual
board one
sport.
time.
I
Yeah,
mean,
no, it
that's
is an actual sport. I'm just
like-
asking if Wheels does it because
No,
I've-
I was more.
I've
into that
seen
rugby
Wheels
shit.
Wheels in a skateboard ramp and to go whoop and then go right there, bam! And when he slam dunked, he held on and broke the backboard, and it somehow was still in his wheelchair too while hanging. Saw it all.
heck yeah. All right. On that
Also
note,
just do murder ball in arms, so you can catch these hands.
yes. If you've played Marvel Rivals and you read the comic that's been out on Marvel Unlimited or the print edition that just came out, they're doing a second season of the comic to go with the second season of the game. So it's going to be tied into the Hellfire Gala. Ironically, this is coming at a time where X-Men comic readers are going, I miss Krakoa.
Well, how do you feel about the patch skin?
The patch skin's amazing and I want it. Even though I don't play Wolverine and shouldn't buy it. Anyways. Adding to this. If you are not a Marvel Unlimited subscriber, if you become one by April 16th, you will get a free Thing skin where he's got shorts colored like the Marvel Unlimited logo. And currently they have an offer that if you use the code THING50, you get 50% off the first 2 months of your subscription. So
That's nice.
yeah, but you got to start it up by April 16th if you want the skin. So
Also, I noticed on the cover that there's some costumes of characters that are not in the game yet. I see Squirrel Girl has a new costume.
Yep.
I see Namor in the red and blue, the white.
seeing
yellow and
Namor in the
blue.
blue and yellow is weird to me, and mostly because seeing Namor with sleeves is weird to me.
Seeing
I do
Namor
love-
is
Too much
weird to
clothes,
me.
right?
It's too much clothes. That man never wears sleeves. Like he
Exactly.
sometimes wears a shirt, but he never wears sleeves. And pants?
I let-
Full pants?
I know,
Don't
right?
you hate pants? That's him.
Yeah.
I do
There's
love
the,
the
live
Psylocke
Namor
and
reaction.
Magic and yellow and blue.
Yeah, Psylocke and
outfits.
Magic look great in those. I'm looking forward to this season because they remember Ultron was made by Hank Pym.
I mean, it's honestly, like, I swear there's never been like an Ultron invading Krakoa thing in the comics before. This is actually a really cool idea. Honestly.
It kind of like, it reminds me of Annihilation Conquest when it's like, oh, who's the villain of the next Marvel Cosmic Saga? Ultron. What? That's cool. Yeah.
Also, my God, like I I know it's based off a comic, but I still can't get over Emma's X Revolution outfit.
Yep. They actually made it more revealing skin-wise than the actual comic.
I know, right?
Yep.
My
But what's
God.
the problem, guys? Like, you need to sell. You need to sell the game. To sell the game.
It's working.
I mean, it worked. It worked.
Welcome, AR. Scrubblord Gaming said, saw a comment where someone said that Namor would die before he'd be put in the yellow and blue. Yeah, I totally agree. That man barely likes to be
Never.
associated with mutants.
Never. I'm not one of you muties.
Yep.
Oh!
No, that's Namor like half the time.
I
Um,
love
That's
the
literally Namor.
I love to see these two trailers. There's a shot where Loki just casually talking to Doom 2099 out of nowhere in that
Yeah.
trailer.
It's so wild. I still have a hell of a lot of fun with the game. My current main is Johnny Storm. I've switched from Sue Storm to Johnny Storm as my main now. Mostly because people started playing healers, so I didn't have to carry the teams anymore.
I mean, people are gonna play Vanguard now. People are gonna play Vanguard now with Emma.
Welcome. Welcome to my world. Welcome to my world.
I kept having to play healer so much that when they gave me Sue Storm as a gift, I was like, thank you. I've had to play more Vanguard lately though because people aren't playing Vanguard. And I'm like, all right, Emma, come in, please.
I mean, with Emma, everyone's gonna play Vanguard now. with Emma.
Exactly.
I'm just glad though. Soundout's learning the issues I used to have
Oh my
back on
goodness.
DCO Online.
Yep.
I was playing healer.
You know, oh my goodness, where I got a call, and it's like,
Oh, what do you think of the Joe Six's skin?
The Joe Fixit skin looks great. I think a lot of the skins look great. I just got, what skin did I just get? I did the Venom, like the $3 pass to get the orange Venom. And then it's like if you complete it, you get a costume coin. So I got MCU Star-Lord, so now I have all the Star-Lord skins.
I love they gave him the king of
Oh, the King of Spartex skin. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for that also because his emote is him like falling asleep and then like waking himself up with his gun. Which is just so much. That's so much Peter trying to be the king of a planet and just hating the job.
I just glad you remember he's the king of Spartex instead of the son of Ego.
Exactly. All right, let's get to some other news. Jerry's favorite franchise in the whole world, Star Trek.
I'm gonna say Shenmue got announced. Holy shit.
No, anyways, Star Trek Strange New World Season 3. We still don't have a release date, despite the fact we've had character posters and now a whole ass trailer. But they said summertime, and this trailer was just to show how weird this season's gonna get, and I'm all here for it because they're doing like a 50s, 60s sci-fi show setting, which just, I don't know, it's really funny just seeing him in outfits that's like sort of almost parodying things. People are sleeping together, people are making food together. Carol Kane is still here, and she's wiring the Enterprise with manual handheld telephones. They're doing a murder mystery episode where Jonathan Frakes directed it.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh no.
they're going
what that
nuts with
means?
this one.
You know what that means? Whenever Jonathan
What's
Frakes is brought on to do a Star Trek series that isn't his, they always give him sass.
Yep. And there's some Klingon stuff. Klingon's whipping people. Scotty's here now. Rhys Darby is possibly playing Trelane because he does the like Trelane finger snap thing, which is really,
Oh
really
no,
cool.
not Trelane.
Yeah, I want him to be Trelane so we can just establish that Trelane's a Q, and then we can just move on with life. You know.
Oh,
Yes. Also, there's a
That guy.
gala happening, so you know they're getting all prepped for Marvel Rivals.
hate that guy.
Yeah, they're filming season 4 right now, so it's kind of like a when's season 3 coming out? Because like you got it done, let's go. You know, I'm excited. Anybody got thoughts on this?
Oh, it looks cool. I mean, I still need to watch it.
You should. It's I would say Strange New Worlds is one of the most accessible like Trek shows to like new viewers. That's not like directly aimed at kids like Prodigy.
Prodigy.
If you're trying to get into something where you're like, I can't do the kid format, but can I get something a little more that's easy to get into? Strange New World's pretty solid on that. All right,
Kid format. You said kid format. Isn't Prodigy like one of the more mature shows out there?
it is, but it also is structured like an animated kid show format, not like a TV
Yep.
drama, right? So like some people,
That's why some of the episodes
Yeah.
are kind of hard to watch.
that's why like their
even as a Star
two-parters are
Trek
great
fan.
because their two-parters feel like a full normal Star Trek episode.
Yeah, because some of
Yeah.
the episodes still, because like something I
Because
noticed
it's still like
early episodes.
it's because like
it has the
Yeah.
3-strike structure in some of the episodes of, oh, you better tell your friends. If you don't tell your friends this secret, it's gonna come back, and then they almost all
Yeah.
die.
because it's a show aimed at kids, but I think it's like
Yeah.
it's one of those shows. It's like it's aimed at kids, but transcends the that label and is a better
Oh
show.
yeah, it actually
But
has
it is
to make you think.
yeah.
It still has to make you think and like enjoy the show, like what we're missing in most kid shows. But I do think like
It
having
still
that
it still does feel like a kid show,
structure.
and so some people will have an
Yeah.
issue with that, and that's fine.
exactly,
But
exactly.
I will also implore everybody to watch it. But I get it if people are like, and I'm like, okay, watch Strange New Worlds then. All right, Star Wars surprised us with a brand new show that they didn't announce prior.
I mean, is this pretty much our yearly at this point?
At this point, our annual May
Tales
4th,
of-
here's our Tales of series. So this time it's going to be Tales of the Underworld, focusing on Asajj Ventress and Cad Bane. Just like the previous Tales series, this will be 6 15-minute episodes, 3 about Asajj and 3 about Cad Bane. And it probably will hopefully explain how Asajj Ventress showed up in Bad Batch not dead. Because I'm still wondering about
Oh no,
that.
the blue people.
What about the
What?
blue? It's Cad Bane, of course there's blue people. What?
No, I'm just making the joke as a blue man group.
Oh,
Oh no, the
okay.
blue people.
Curious because then Disney shut down the studio that does these.
Yes, I have no idea when this was made. Like if it was made before they shut the studio down, or if they just ported the models to another studio.
That's probably the case.
Hey guys, so we're not gonna put this in Tales of the Jedi or whatever. We're making it its own sub-series. Also, you're dissolved. What?
That's kind of what happened to Bad Batch season 3. They're like, "Oh, your show's canceled. Also, you have to finish it before we close your studio." And that's why there's a couple episodes
Okay.
of Bad Batch season 3 where people like turn the gamma up on some of the dark scenes, and then they were noticing like guns clipping in through holsters and like hands were missing, and I was like, "Oh my god, they were pressed." Oh, great show,
Oh
but
god,
yeah.
what? Oh god, what if? Because if I remember, I think that animation studio also did Earthspark season 1. Oh god, is this Earthspark 2 season? Earthspark season 2 animation team? Oh god, oh no.
Yeah, we'll see. From the trailer, it's hard to even notice that there was a shift. So it just depends on when we actually get to see the whole thing. Hellfire says this reminds me to go watch season 4 of Clone Wars. You should. It's good. Also, don't watch this until you see, the rest of Clone Wars. Blader says Tales. I've never heard of it. Yeah, so this is like the third time. This definitely wasn't AI doing MJ Klein. Don't worry.
They've been doing these since 2023. I want to
Yeah.
say, right?
This is the third one. So the first one was Tales of the Jedi, which was 3 shorts about Ahsoka Tano, and like it was like one from when she was a baby, one from when she was a Padawan, one from when she left the Jedi Order.
I didn't hate the Ahsoka story, but like the Dooku story was just or was it Dooku,
Yes,
right?
that's it. The other one was Dooku, and it showed Dooku's Dooku as a Jedi, and then his fall to the dark side. And that was way more interesting, because the Ahsoka one, the first one where she's like a baby, I was like, this is new, this is cool. The other two was like, we already know this. Except the third, I like the third one though, because the third one was an adaptation of a book.
Oh, that's cool.
But the Ahsoka one didn't feel as impactful as the Dooku one. But then we had Tales of the Empire last year, which was it was Morgan Elsbeth, who was introduced in Mandalorian and Ahsoka, and it gave her backstory and like showed how she got from Dathomir to where she was in the Empire, and like her time in the Empire and how she knew Thrawn. Great stuff. And then the other one was Barriss Offee, who we'd seen at the end of Clone Wars, and where she ended up and how she ended up going into like the Inquisitor program. We saw the interior workings of the Inquisitors. So this is, I'm hoping we get, some more of that with this. It seems like we're doing that, which I think is great.
So
And,
what you're telling me is, again, why didn't Star Wars just transition to animation when some of the best stuff is still the animation stuff then?
Yes, exactly. SJ4J says, was there Tales of the Rebellion? At this point, next year, and maybe it'll be like, here's a 3-part series about Wedge Antilles. Like, that'd be cool.
Well, they do that? Tales of the Droids, what's next? Tales of the Ewoks,
This is literally a format they can run forever. They'll never run out of characters to do.
And damn it, now we need Tales of the Ewoks, and it's just them eating.
Yes. There's a comic out right now that, like, it's just Ewoks doing Ewok things.
Are they just going nub nub all the time?
Pretty much, yeah. They don't have dialogue.
They did that one time. They
should do like Tales of the Legends, and it's like Dr. Aphra and Bellarine Vance, and it's just like like comic characters only.
I'm surprised they never adapted Dr. Aphra to like mainstream media because how popular she is.
I'm really shocked because like she's run 4 solo books at this point. She gets omnibuses, and yet they've never tried to adapt her. It's really weird. It's like Synergy Machine broke in that regard. But
where's Tales of that nipple guy that took care of the Rancor? Where's his
Tales of the Rancor Keeper, and it's like the first episode is like him meeting the baby Rancor, and it's like a little cute like thing. And then the second one is like them training together, and then it ends with the Rancor getting killed, and then the third one is a slide into depression. I'm in for it. Let's do it. All right. Speaking of Synergy Machine, a movie has a trailer, guys. And I picked the article that had Jared Leto's face at the top because I think that was perfect.
Never forget.
So, Tron Ares has been sitting in development since 2017. And we're still getting it for some reason. It's been sitting in the development for 8 years. So a lot of people have been saying, why is Jared Leto the lead of this movie? Every movie he's in is a box office bomb. Well, that's because when they signed him, it was right after he won his Oscar. It just took them 8 years to make this movie. I have seen...
It's the Ezra Miller scenario, pretty much, right?
Pretty much, yeah. And the thing is, a lot of people in Hollywood, when they get an Oscar, they get a pay or play contract, which means if they don't do the movie, they have to get paid twice what they get paid to do the movie to break the contract. So they were like, let's just make the movie. They have made some significant horrible errors with this movie, and the first thing is that they showed this trailer, which is not as good as the trailer that was shown to the D23 audience. It's like half the length and like half the cool shots.
D23 was good? Question mark.
Yeah, the D23 trailer was much. I don't think either trailer looks good, but the D23 trailer was much better. I would have shown just the D23 trailer, but they're like, let's just do a new trailer where the focus is Jared Leto, and I'm like, what is wrong with you? Do you not look at this man's box office? You can't be marketing it off of the Jared Leto. People don't like him.
I mean, he's a PR nightmare also.
He is. The thing is that Jared Leto does one of two things in his career. He's either in a movie that's good that makes no money, or he's in a movie he's either in a movie that's good that makes no money, or a movie that's bad and makes a ton of money. So either option sucks. But the problem I have with this movie.
Wait, where does Morbius fit in? He doesn't fit in either.
Wait, which Morbius? That's also the only movie to ever flop twice at the box office, so that's the exception. No, because I liked Haunted Mansion, but I think Haunted Mansion died at the box office because A, they released a Halloween movie in July, and then B, Jared Leto was in it as a voice role, and he tainted the movie, and so it was doomed to fail, even though I really liked it as a big fan of Haunted Mansion.
I didn't even know he was in that movie.
Yeah, he was the voice of the Hatbox Ghost. You didn't have to look at him, but he was there and he cursed it. Blade Raider, that's exactly the thing I see online all the time. I haven't watched the trailer yet, and you've already talked me out of watching this movie by simply saying his name. Yeah, exactly. If you're going to market this movie, he's playing a character that wears a helmet. Don't show his damn face. Pretend like he's not even there.
So my biggest problem, and I was talking to my partner about it, is like this.
Yes.
I think the people making this movie forgot what was the aesthetic of Tron.
The people who are making this movie have no idea what Tron is. And I know that's a big reactionary thing to say on the internet, but legitimately they do not understand a single thing about Tron.
Even the legacy...
is the stupid movie supposed to be the Tron thing escapes virtual...
Yes, the whole thing is that Ares, Jared Leto, is the villain of the movie. He's an evil AI program that escapes the grid into the real world and brings an army with him. Welcome, Jim Green.
Who's going to stop him? Nobody.
Nobody, because there's no heroes in this movie. I have read through every character description. Every person is either like a corporate suit or a hacker or some morally questionable person that's trying to spin this for their own benefit. There are no heroes in this movie. Tron is not a no-hope type of movie series. The two movies and the TV show are about being hopeful and working together. But the core ethos of Tron is missing. The core ethos of Tron is that it's an isekai.
Yep.
You can't reverse isekai Tron. It doesn't work. Because
it's boring. It's boring.
It's boring. Exactly. What the whole thing with Tron that made the first two movies work is it is a relationship between a programmer and their program. Right? That's the whole first movie. Everybody...
one was about, yo, I'm friends with you. The other one was like, yo, I'm gonna bang you.
And here's the thing.
It's real life.
Yeah, exactly. But also, there's also that other element in Legacy of, Kevin Flynn misguided Clue and he became a monster, right? The connection between the program and the programmer. It's the whole thing in the original Tron film that everybody's programs look like the person that programmed them. This is like the connecting ethos.
Oh God, no! Do we got two Jared Letos?
No, we don't, because he's a program made by somebody else that doesn't look like Jared Leto. So that's already missing that. Immediately misses that ethos statement. The second thing it's missing is the character of Tron. Like, he wasn't in the marketing for Legacy because it was a surprise reveal, but they teased him. There is zero indication that Tron is actually going to be in the Tron movie.
Or you could have, like, what they did in Uprising with Beckett taking up the mantle of Tron.
Yes.
I mean, Tron was still there. Like, Tron was still there, but, like, he wasn't the main Tron because of what, what was going on.
The events of Legacy, yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, Beckett is Tron. And also, like, why is everything red? Isn't red supposed to be, like, it's, like, the
Red's not evil. Red's not a color in Tron. It's orange.
Yeah, right, I forget.
Yes.
It's still red in Tron, right. It's always orange.
It's
right.
orange. It's not red. Adding to this, the thing with Tron, this is the thing about this trailer that bugs the crap out of me. It aesthetically, it's just Tron Legacy again. Now, this is the thing I don't know, and I will judge on this.
I mean, not really. Cause...
Let me follow through on this, okay? There is a thing about Tron that is metatextual and is very important for the overall context of the movies. And if someone understands Tron, they understand this. The original Tron film, why does that computer world look different than the one from Legacy? They're two separate grids. The grid in the original film is the Incom grid, and the grid in Legacy is the Flynn grid, where Uprising takes place.
It's like Digimon with the Giger Shill and the I'm already blanking on
the Elysium, or no, that's the
Elysium, yeah,
whatever it is.
But still,
the point is The animated series looks just like Legacy, same with Evolution, because they take place on the same grid. So these suits and these vehicles look like stuff from Legacy, which says, is this in the Flynn grid? So if it's in the Flynn grid, who's running the Flynn grid? Because the Flynn grid was shut down at the end of Legacy.
Mm-hmm.
Sam takes it offline. He puts it around his neck and he leaves, right?
And yeah, and also like aesthetically, like it doesn't like look like Tron. And what I mean by that, because Tron's big thing is curves. It is a very
Yes.
round universe. Because
And Jared
'cause I
Leto
think-
has a triangle identity disc.
I hate that so much. It's not a disc. It's not a disc. Then
The problem
because
is it looks like somebody that doesn't understand how Tron was made just looked at Tron and said, "Oh, let's just recreate that."
Yeah, because the big thing why everything was so round and curvy, because that was the whole point of the original Tron is CG. Like, and you know, the
Yes.
big thing about and the thing about Tron's sort of CG is, and why it was so big back in the day is, you know, is all like these 3D objects not looking like polygons pretty much. It was all round
Mhm.
shapes, and Legacy took that with Strive, adding the neon lights and everything like that.
Which was
instead.
also
And-
based on the way that they did the rotoscoping lights to reflect off the diodes of the costumes in the original Tron. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, here everything's sharp angles, like a bunch of 90-degree. Like look at the light cycles in this movie. They don't look like light cycles because the light cycles appears a tube, practically.
Wheels, did you have a
Here-
comment?
What?
Did you have something you were going to say? I heard your voice pop up, and I was like,
Oh no, I just made a joke about something when adding on Ryan when he said something. I don't even remember what it was now.
Okay, all right. Anyways,
Yeah, but-
that leads me to the
It
third
was
major
just me
problem with
adding
this
on to.
movie. It is not innovative. The other two Tron movies are box office duds, both of them. Flops. That's the legacy of Tron, right? It's like Blade Runner. You have to make a good movie because you're not going to make money, right? The
Mhm.
reason people love the original Tron, people love Legacy, is they're incredibly well-made movies that make technological advancements in filmmaking, okay? The original Tron, like we said, CGI, effects and graphics and models. That was a first. Then, Tron Legacy invented the de-aging technology that Marvel uses every other week.
Yeah, and also it looks uncanny, but I think that was the purpose of it looking
Yes.
uncanny.
It looked uncanny because they couldn't get it to look realistic at the time, since it was the first time it ever been done. But it's supposed to be a program, so it's fine.
Yeah. I think honestly, I think it adds to it. I think it not looking good adds to kind of the creepy aspect of it because it's it's a fake Tron. Of course, it's supposed to be. I think adds to it honestly a scenario like that.
Yeah, and so adding those three elements together.
Hell, honestly, Uprising does a lot what modern animation is doing with
Yeah. I mean,
Spire,
it was a polygon.
like,
it was a polygon series when they were in their early days.
It's one of the best. It's one of the best looking series still, and
Yeah.
I honestly think a lot of techniques, Uprising, because I watched a video of Uprising recently. Uprising uses a lot of techniques you see a lot in the post Spider-Verse era of animation, and such like that. It's honestly Uprising is pretty innovative for its time, especially with other CG shows and such like that.
So adding these three elements together, and Travis mentions waiting to judge it harsher when the movie comes out. I agree with that. These three elements should have been present by now. There should have been at least one of these three things should have been solved already, because I have now seen 2 trailers. I have read everything about this movie that has been released, and it does not yet feel like Tron. And that
Also, Nine Inch Nails' music. What?
they were like, we can't get Daft Punk. Who are we going to get next? 9 Inch Nails.
That's why I made the joke. I said it also had Daft Punk.
Yeah, Daft Punk did a lot for that. Also,
Yeah,
the original composer to Tron made some amazing music. Let's see how the music turns out. It probably will be good. They marketed the music before they marketed the release date, so we know how they're thinking.
Yeah, that's what I did, because I feel like the synth waveness of the music of Legacy is what Tron is, because when you take high future sci-fi computer world, you think that synth wavy music.
The original score, the woman that composed the original Tron score, also used entirely synthesized music.
Yeah, I do not think grunge when I think of Tron.
What I'm hoping for, like Astronaut mentioned, I'm hoping this is
the grunge is my theory is the grunge is to go with this fact that there's this rogue network that's going to try to take, because this is the
a lot of Trent Reznor's scores recently have been really good, and I think if it's more like that, less so than like it's got to have that mix. I'm not really worried about the music, to be honest. I think the music is going to be good.
I
based on what
think the
they've
problem is
done.
the trailer. I guess the problem is the trailer didn't have any good
Yeah, the
music at
trailer
all.
didn't have anything interesting.
What if this movie
Benjamin
taking
Wiseman
so long to
confirms Nine Inch Nails is not grunge. They just have that vibe, but it's not officially
Yeah.
grunge. They are synth. Yeah. The music, like we can get off the music thing because I honestly I don't have a problem with the music. I do have a problem though that the movie is not doing anything interesting with its visual composition.
It looks
Because
boring because everything looks gray and drab and
everything looks shot like everything is shot like every other action movie. The thing is they're trying to get you like, look, there's a light cycle on a highway, which is not anything I ever wanted to see. The whole like ethos of Tron can be summed up by watching the first scene of Legacy, where Kevin Flynn says, I imagine that the inside of a computer is like a highway, like a network of people moving through a system. That's what it's supposed to be. It's not supposed to be literally happening in real life. I don't understand also from like a canon perspective, and this could be explained, so I'm not going to like judge it harshly, but from like a fan perspective, I'm like, I don't understand how this works, but I'll let the movie explain it if it does.
Also, like, the highlight scene, the light cycle, like, if you like, if I show someone that clip, they might think, oh, is this from a Marvel movie? Because like you could that light cycle design could just be like Black Widow spike or something
Yeah.
like that, for example.
It doesn't have the sauce, you know? And so as a big Tron fan, and I mean like big Tron fan, the best thing to come out of this movie so far is the fact that Marvel's reprinting all their Tron comics.
And you know what? That's why I gift you the Lego set for Christmas.
Yes. Kyle says, you see, the big gimmick for this movie is that it's a Tron film that appeals to nobody. Yeah, Blade Raider, so that we're going through this fast. Yeah, no, I knew I would slow up on this.
The only hypothetical I could say is it's either that this is a program of them trying to invade reality, they either break into reality, and that leads Flynn's son to reactivate his grid to fight back against it.
Except Flynn's son's not in the movie.
God damn it, Conjurer 1. It's the bad time of the grid, man.
Yeah. No, the thing is that like Travis, you should check out the other Tron movies for sure. Definitely recommended. The thing is like Sam Flynn's not confirmed to be in this movie. They've invented a second new son for Edward Dillinger because imagine this.
Is Jeff Bridges in the movie?
Jeff Bridges is in this. His voice is in the trailer, and there's a shot of him in the D23 trailer. But even Jeff Bridges said, "I'm only in this movie for 5 minutes." He said that on stage at D23.
Oh boy.
Which is like, wow, don't admit that up front.
Yeah.
One of the things I wish was happening was that Tron Legacy set up a sequel with its extra material. They released some like short films that took place after the movie, and they set it up that like Edward Dillinger Jr., who was played by Cillian Murphy, Oscar winner for Oppenheimer, Cillian Murphy, he was going to be the next villain of the movie because he was going to create a new version of his father's master control program in order to control the world's technology. And it was set up like that, and that sounded really damn cool. And instead, we're doing this.
Well, you know what's have you played the visual novel?
I have.
Yeah, because the visual novel, my partner told me about the plot of that game, and that sounds so interesting because it's about like
Yep.
what happens to the grid when the server dies.
Yes.
Just like that.
And that's also not on the Flynn grid. It's on a different grid and has a different aesthetic style because of it.
But yeah, that's such an interesting concept of like, yeah, what would happen to a grid when like the server just eventually just dies out because of old because PC computer eventually would just die out due to just age and all that stuff. That's a more interesting.
And the second game set in that
idea.
same grid is like, what would time travel be to a computer program?
Yeah, it's such a that when
which this movie is like, what if an evil AI tries to invade the world? That was the plot of Legacy. That was Clue's plan in Legacy, was he was going to invade the real world. And it's like, so we're just repeating that plot point? I haven't played the Kingdom Hearts Tron levels. I need to play Kingdom Hearts just for Tron at this point.
Tron levels were amazing. Because
the music are so good in those levels.
Here's the funny part. As a kid, I wanted to see Tron. I couldn't find it anywhere because its home video release was like ass.
Disney Vault.
Bomb, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So like, I couldn't see that thing for the life of me. When this Kingdom Hearts 2 came out, Stars was like, yo, Disney, give us streaming rights. Every weekend, Stars had like, on, Stars Family or just regular Stars, there was Tron. I watched it all the time, and I was like, man, this movie's great.
Yeah. Kyle says, you
boy.
think this film is why Kingdom Hearts 4 is
Why
taking a
is
million
this-
years to come out? No. I think
Oh,
that's just
God.
happening because it's Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyways, the point being with this movie is that I currently don't like anything about it, except maybe the music will be good. But I'm willing to give it a chance, and it's a Tron movie. It's going to flop, especially because it's a Tron movie with Jared Leto, so
With
it's
Jared
almost
Leto.
guaranteed to flop. I'm still going to go see it because I will give it a shot, you know?
It's
Um,
kind of a shame because then the director of Legacy wanted to do a sequel for so long,
Yes.
and Disney said like, "Oh, do our Tomorrowland Land movie, and if it does well, we'll give you your Tron tree."
Yep.
And that movie flopped, right?
Mhm. And then that man went and directed Top Gun Maverick.
One of the best like sequels ever.
Yes.
Like they did like gajillion bucks or something like that.
Disney was like, oh, if we brought back the director and the setup villain from the previous movie, we'd have a guy that made a ton of money for a studio and did a legacy sequel a lot of people loved and an Oscar winner. Nah, let's just stick with Jared Leto.
I think he's also an Oscar winner, though.
Okay, fair point. You got me there. But no, it's just, I hope this movie... Muteki said, no, don't go see the movie. Just spend your money in the arcade one-up. I thought about buying that thing, and it was like $500, and I was like, where am I going to put it?
Your ass.
Oh,
Only,
It won't fit there.
The only good thing that could come from this movie is maybe we'll get some really good Tron merchandise.
Maybe we're getting at least we're getting the comics reprinted. There's like a trade coming out with like the Marvel comics. It's got the Legacy prequel and the original movie adaptation in it. So that'll be fun. Oh, also, fun fact: this movie was in development hell, and then Disney opened the Tron ride at Disney World, and then it was popular, and then they pulled this thing out of development hell. And I gotta wonder if the only reason we're getting this is because the ride was popular. So fun. Let's talk about Superman.
Hey man, still remember when that Uprising show was great and the toys were great, and then they were like, nah.
There was toys for Uprising?
No, there was toys for Legacy. There wasn't
okay,
Uprising
sorry,
toys. It was just the
blurred in
Legacy
my
toys.
mind.
The Legacy toys were shelf warming way into Uprising existing.
Okay, because I just
Yeah.
remember I had to help. I think what is it? You were dark on find the god darn specific identity disc that was like
Yep.
one per. That thing was like actually still hard to get.
The Rensler one.
I
Yeah,
remember
yeah.
those Spin
you
Master.
guys-
I remember those Spin Master Tron toys. They were cool. Especially those like deluxe figures with the
ones that
screen
light up?
faces.
The light
Yeah.
up screen faces. I know I put the Superman image up, but the light up face ones are interesting because the original concept for the movie was that was how their faces were going to look through the helmets. Instead of the helmets coming down, it was going to be like a projected face in the helmet the entire time. But then they thought that looked really weird, and they changed it. So then the original, if you look at the original teaser trailer for Tron Legacy, you can see that like the face flashes up, and then you see the face, and then it flickers out just like the toy did. So, anyways. Watch Superman get beat up by his dog.
I love the thumbnail for Tushi is so funny. To seeing
Yes.
Superman, the way Superman posed and Jack Black next to him.
I waited because they said they were going to put this 5-minute preview of Superman in front of Minecraft, and I was like, I'm going to go see Minecraft. I'll wait to watch it. And then they just uploaded it anyways, and I was like, get your marketing together. You can't just go like, we're going to do this thing and then change your mind immediately. Like, you should have been like, it's going to be in theaters in Minecraft, but also we're releasing it online.
Isn't that just WB and DC in a nutshell?
Yes. Did you know that the WD marketing guy that did Barbie was doing the marketing for Superman, and then Warner Brothers fired him?
Oh, of course.
Yeah. K-Master said, that's how dog act. Why do fans think Crypto is beating him up? Because dogs beat people up. I've watched the Shaggy Dog. Anyways.
Which one?
The original one where there's
where he punches
the wonderful insert shot with the punch, yes.
Yes, I love that.
Yeah. Blader says, I think I'll mute during the soups part. They've already made the sale for me. I don't need to see or know what's in this. Sounds good. So I waited. I saw it in theaters. And by the way, Minecraft, there was 3 trailers. It was this. It was Jurassic World Rebirth. And it was Mission Impossible. That was it. And I was like, oh, this was my salvation after my 40 minutes of hell in front of Looney Tunes. Yeah.
Never forget.
Yeah. Anyways, so watching this though, the first half of it was like essentially a scene from the movie, and then the second half was just kind of like alternate takes of the shots from the trailer. So I kind of wanted to focus on the part of it where it's like, yeah, he calls for Crypto to help him, and Crypto's like, "Oh, you're here to play," and he starts like bouncing on him and everything. And I was like,
I
"Yep,
love it.
that's a dog.
I love that.
That's a dog right
Yeah.
there." I love like the little personalities. We have Superman robots in the Fortress of Solitude,
I
and
love, yeah. I still
yeah,
have to see the All-Star Superman robots and such like there
hmm
and such. Oh, I also love. Also, I really love the Fortress Altitude here. I like I said you like that. You know, the thing just rotates to like oh, Superman's healed from the sun.
yeah, it's like
Just
a
rotates.
lens, and it just
So
turns, and then it's like, the sun's coming in. It just gave me a really great vibe that the trailer didn't give me the same vibe. I think this sold me on the movie more than the trailer had. The trailer was like, I was like, there may be this or this and this, but this movie, like this scene, I was like, oh no, I think it works. I think this movie works. I'm really excited to see more of this. Also,
definitely.
Warner Brothers, go get the Barbie guy back to market your movie, because my God. This looked great. I really enjoyed it, and I'm looking forward to this movie. So that's all I got on that. Actually, I don't have anything further. It's mostly just really fun stuff. With that dog is the cutest thing ever, though. It's
I
the
love the
cutest
dog
damn
just
dog.
dragging Clark everywhere.
Yep. All right. Well, it's 2 hours. We're just not going to do the toy news. Just kidding. We'll just go through the toy
Yeah.
news. Let's do it anyways. Let's go through it real quick. So G.I. Joe put out some renders. Awkwardly, 2 of them we've already seen. So the Cobra Claw we had seen before, but now we have an accessory loadout. So I guess it's different. Neat. Still, when is this thing going out for order? They showed this at Comic-Con last year.
Ever.
Yeah, when they said there were to be delays, they meant it. We got a render for the Major Blood they announced, which is just a repaint of the existing Major Blood that was a Target exclusive, which is good because it's been like 5 years since that figure came out.
Jeez, God, God, it really has been.
Yep, and also I'm also glad that he looks exactly the same with some new paint, because now I can just skip him and not even feel bad about it. I'm like, I already got one. And then we got Monkey Wrench, who's one of the Dreadnoks that I'm not aware of. I have no idea who Monkey Wrench is. We've officially crossed over into I don't know who this is.
Oh, wait, is this the guy that he like scared? Who's like scared the crap out of Cobra in Johnny Universe? Or am I thinking another bearded?
No, I think that was
Beard.
Torch.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they look too similar. They had like same like sunglasses and beard
Yep.
look.
Yeah, Blade
Like
Raider
his-
Classified's been around 5 years now.
I like his
Jeremy Carr,
stupid-
you didn't miss any Blu-ray news because there wasn't any I wanted to talk about.
I like his weapons are super, like they had like shotgun axes and like a giant like fork on his
Yes.
gun there.
It's a little chaotic, and I dig it. We'd already seen this Snake Eyes. I was pretty convinced we'd already seen him at some point. So there's that, and then there was the Battle Armor Cobra Commander from the Deke series, or as I like to call him, Fred 7 from the Larry Hama comic.
Gecko.
And the Gecko. That's apparently from what I heard, because I have not watched the Deke series. I watched one episode and wanted to, so I stopped. I do not like the Deke series. Apparently that's Serpentor, who's been devolved into a lizard. So, that you're right, Muteki. That info was supposed to be classified. I do like how the Cobra Commander has like normal eyes and then like snake eyes.
Once a man.
I think the once a man snake eyes thing is supposed to be for like the Deke version, and then this one's like the comic version.
It's so weird because you talk about like the actual Snake Eyes, but there's the problem with the actual character.
I've kind of forgotten Snake Eyes exists because the Energon universe isn't using him, and he's not really prominent in Larry Hama's stuff at the moment.
I'm so surprised, honestly. They're holding this much out for Snake Eyes.
Yeah.
In the years.
I appreciate it. I appreciate that Bumblebee's dead and Snake Eyes doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's that. All right, Figure Arts time. Let's roll through these. Loading up here. Common Rider Bitter Gav Sparking Gummy form. It is bitter.
Sparking
Gav.
Zero? Sparking?
No, it's not like that. It's just like. Anyways, this is the evil clone of Gav from Gav, and he's here now. He exists, and
oh no, Clone Saga in the series. Oh god,
you have no idea. You know the famous scene from Ava with the people in the tank?
Yeah.
They recreated it in Gav.
Oh god.
But it went down much differently. Yeah, they've been doing clone stuff. All right. in the world of Dragon Ball figure arts that exist before Videl, it's Nail. Nail.
I'm just gonna use your reactions for Piccolo heads.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's the best part
basically.
about. Yeah. Cows, where are you?
I'm right here.
Why do you think they made Nail? Why? Just give me your top reason you think they made Nail. It's like is this first
I
toy?
mean, I think
no,
so.
yes, there was a Jax figure of him.
Oh, of
Oh, there
course it
was?
My theory is why they made Nail. Okay, I'm gonna give you your theory,
Yeah,
right?
give me one.
Isn't he like the
One, give you
last
more
Namek character?
more reactions for Piccolo's body sculpt. Here,
Yeah.
you can just take off his arms to give to Piccolo.
I'm also looking at
Oh,
it.
so
He's
you just
using the
Piccolo
superhero
parts.
Piccolo pants.
Yeah, because I know he has a 3.0 like similar legs.
Yeah.
Look at his arms, because I think he also has the "Oh my God, my arm's been ripped off" effect.
Yeah, which is a really cool effect, like the of it sprouting back out. That's actually really cool.
Yeah.
So it's on the wrong arm to be Piccolo because you wouldn't specifically be the Saiyan
Yeah,
Saga.
how many times has Piccolo's arms gotten ripped off?
Yeah, true.
It
Yeah.
happens. Yeah, it's
he
crazy to me that we get him before Videl.
Yeah, but he is. I think he is our last Namek character. I
Guru.
want to say. I thought they did. No. Yeah, no, they did Dende and Barunga, but yeah,
they didn't make.
we haven't
Guru.
got Super Kami Guru.
I think they even made Bulma, right?
Yeah, they did Bulma. It was
Yeah.
like Bulma's a character you get a lot of figures with how many alphas, but you only had two. We only have, I think, two of
3.
her.
There was the pink dress, there was the Namek, and there was the
the Toriyama
the
biker
Toriyama
gear.
art one. Yeah, the biker gear one. Yeah.
I thought they never did like super. I never did like Super Bulma because that's like her practically evergreen design at that point.
I mean, they never even finished the Universal Survival Team, so.
Nope. Remember, we got Capca because she won the fighters pool.
Yeah.
Figure art pool thing.
All right. In the world of One Piece figure arts, we have the youngest character to hit figure arts ever, Jewelry Bonnie.
No, there's others. To be fair, you have the whole Spy Family line.
Oh, I was thinking of One Piece figure arts. I wasn't thinking
Okay,
of
One
figure
Piece
arts in general.
specifically.
Sorry, yeah. Yeah, Bonnie's 12, but she can make her body into an older person. That's her power is she can make.
Wait, Gohan is younger than her at figure arts too.
I said One Piece figure arts.
I know, I'm just saying.
I know, but she's younger than Chopper.
She's like Nell in Bleach, but I think Nell was converted to a child form because she is an adult. Versus here where she is.
Yeah, Bonnie is a child, and she can make people and herself older and younger, basically. That's like how her power works. And they did reveal that she was not like 24, she was 12. So.
Yeah.
Shazamings.
After Toei had
going to
animated
jail.
her like she was 24.
Oh, you're all going to jail.
Thanks, Oda.
It's funny because like in Oda's art he doesn't do it, right? But in the Toei animation they always amp up the fan service, and so yeah.
So
going to jail. Case
so is there any reason why they did Bonnie? Is she important in this arc?
So this is, I would say that out of every character in the Egghead Island arc, Bonnie's probably the most important.
Okay, is she like the Yamato equivalent?
She has a bigger role than Yamato. She's more like a Vivi.
Well, because like there's always like that, like every first scene of One Piece, there's always the every arc has the character that is like a semi Straw Hat, like at least part of the like that joins them on the adventure.
She is like, she has enough significance to Egghead Island that Law has to Dressrosa. Like she is very important to this arc, because like half of Egghead Island is flashbacks to her and her father's like story. So I am a little annoyed we got Bonnie before Nico Robin in any form. But if I was gonna pick a character from Egghead for them to do after Luffy and Chopper that wasn't Jimbei because I'm desperate, it would be Bonnie.
Like it was cool to get another woman in the line, but it's kind of annoying that it's not Robin because isn't like her Egghead design not that complex, right?
And honestly, looking at this figure, if they wanted to make Nami and Robin from Egghead, they could off this. Like they could reuse the boots and stuff.
You can only look at Robin's. Yeah, it's practically the same design.
Yeah.
As Bonnie's outfit practically. So like, I kind of wish like this was Robin instead.
I
because
kind of
her
feel like the
outfit
reason they're doing this is because the anime just came back and they're about to go into all the
yeah,
backstory stuff for
tie-in.
Bonnie.
Yeah, it's one of those. Remember, the figure arts are tie-in
Yep.
figures scenario.
They're about to do all the Bonnie backstory stuff. So this is, I think, good timing for this. It's nice to get her as a figure though, because I wasn't.
I
sure
must
they
say,
were
I
going
would
to.
say, yeah, I would say, my noise of wish it was Robin instead. Like, she actually looks like one of the best like female figure arts. Like, 'cause
Yeah.
she actually has some really good
And
range.
she comes with pizza, and then she comes
Yeah.
with the
Don't
face
forget,
for
she
Luffy
got-
to eat the pizza.
I would say that's a gimmick with her.
She's not got nothing
Yes.
but
Oh,
covering
yes.
her thighs. A lot of female figures have stuff that like cover their thighs, which ends up screwing up their articulation.
Yeah.
They just have like a baggy pant style. So, like this figure looks like
I
it can
think-
actually pose.
I think
Also,
she's the
because they
first
can
female
put a thigh swivel in where the legging comes
Yeah.
up.
cut.
Yeah.
With a leg.
I think,
Yeah, exactly.
I think she's also the first female figure, at least the one I can think of, where she has a like looks like a really good like ab crunch, like because
Yeah.
there's a there's the diaphragm underneath the boobs, but also there's like a crunch near the waist,
Yeah, she
Like,
has
kinda
two
like
joints in the torso instead of just
kind of
one.
like Ace, kind of like
Yeah.
Ace. So like, looks like she could possibly get some good crunches. Then.
I think so. I think she looks like really solid. She is a P Bandai exclusive in Japan, but just like with Ace, Shanks, and whatnot, she didn't go up on P Bandai US, so expect her to hit your favorite retailer soon.
She has them Mega Man. They all day hell. I just all had them Mega Man boots.
They're Astro Boy boots
yeah.
because Egghead Island's very old school, like Tezuka style sci-fi.
I'm
Inspired.
surprised they didn't do what's her name, Vegapunk.
Wait, so does
Isn't she-
anyone have a gun
Yeah.
coming out of their ass?
What?
Frankie, probably Frankie.
No, one of the Vegapunks does. Dr. Vegapunk is tricky because Dr. Vegapunk is a Cloud Run person. So there's like the original Vegapunk, and his consciousness is connected to a cloud system that goes to 9 different bodies.
Is that what I'm thinking of? The orange hair girl.
Lilith.
I know. Well, yeah, 'cause
She's one of the
isn't she, like,
Vegapunks, yeah.
yeah, I know she was like big. I get from what I remember.
Each
when this arc
Vegapunk
was
is
coming
representing
out.
a different personality. It's like one's good, one's evil, one's cute.
Oh,
one's
is
fun.
it like Is it like Pain with his copies?
Yes, it's like Pain. Yeah. It actually is a lot like Pain.
Great, another reference to Yu Yu Hakusho.
Yes.
Everyone knows they probably just ripped off Sensui.
Yeah.
Not
But-
the Sensui arc.
I will
Not
say
the,
at least
not the fingerhead.
at least with Vegapunk, it's more interesting than Pain or Sensui in the sense that the Vegapunks don't always agree with each other. They're not like they're cloud
Neither did
connected but not
Sensui.
hive mind.
They did Sensui.
Okay, I haven't watched that part of the show yet. Okay,
Start watching, boy.
I haven't watched that part of the
Well,
show
wait a
in
minute.
like
It's
20
not
years.
even a Cloud or a Hive Mind with the same guy.
I don't even know how you even saw it in
Well, so
20
it's-
years, unless you watched it on DVD.
I watched a lot of it on Toonami, and I watched a bunch of it back in. Anyways,
Okay, because I was gonna say because a lot of it didn't actually air. The last like 4 episodes aired at like 4 a.m.
I probably never watched those then. That's why I wanted to watch the whole thing. Anyways, it's funny. Blade Raider said Ace could mean so many characters, and you mentioned the characters young. My brain automatically filled it to Figure Arts Doctor Who Ace. That's a different Ace for sure. Anyways, yeah, the Vegapunk thing's interesting because they're cloud connected. So, like with Pain, you wouldn't have one Pain say to another Pain, "You're wrong. We should do it this way." Right? They all have the same goal. Whereas the Vegapunks are a little bit more independent in that way. Anyways, that's exciting. All right. In the world of teases, Figure Arts decided to go, hey, Sentai's 50 years old. Here's our next Seiho. It's Aka Ranger from, Himitsu Sentai Go Ranger. So it's kind of a
Wait,
no-brainer.
worth
but-
getting until they
So,
make it a
if I
Bandai.
remember right, weren't they gonna do the Go Rangers, but they got canceled because
Yep.
the Sentai line died, right?
And so they only made
They
Aka
did like
Ranger.
Aka Ranger, yeah.
Oh, they did. At least they did Aka Ranger. Okay.
They did him, and the other 4 got canned. So nowadays, though, we don't expect anybody besides Red. So
Exactly.
yeah. Because the only people that are not red that we've gotten is Black Zenkaiser, or Zenkaiser Black,
That doesn't
Okogata
count as a-
Oger, and 2 Kaiser. Those are the only ones that aren't like reds or red things.
Hope he has a wire. Hope he has like a soft goods like wire cape.
I think he will, because like Zenkaiser didn't have a wired cape, but it was still soft, so I think it's going to be wired since this is Seiho. So, pretty cool. All right, next up, in the world of it's Kuga's anniversary, we're out of ideas to make merchandise. so we're gonna do cool things. It's
Dirt.
Ancient Warrior Kuga from the first episode. So it's the
Oh,
guy that
man.
was Kuga in the past, and he's all dirty and got the dust on him.
What were those like Gundam figures that killed the U.S. line?
Battle scarred.
Oh, you mean the
Yeah.
MSIA Battle Scarred? Yeah.
Yep.
Is this the Battle Scar Kuga? Like Keeter Kuga with dirt on him.
It's the Transformers Siege Kuga, but it does at least
Yeah.
have like significance to this series, and so I think it's cool. It's a variant we never got before. The fact it's 13,000 yen is insane.
It gets you a
Right.
stone tablet. You get a stone tablet, bro.
No,
I
you
feel
don't
like
get a stone
tablet
tablet.
base.
You get a base. I don't see a stone
There's
tablet.
Stone tablet base. Stone
Is this
tablet
the
base.
first?
Yeah,
Kuga
but it
to
doesn't
have,
even
like,
come with an
now-
arm. It's just a circle.
I know. I'm fucking with you. I'm
Okay,
fucking with
Is
you.
there? Is this the first Kuga with pound lining on his chest? Because it actually looks pretty nice.
I think so. He looks really good.
Oh.
I think he looks nice. And yeah, it's Riku Kuga. It's like his first time. Oh, is his name on the box in Grungy instead of Japanese? Oh, it is. That's fun. That's fun. I like it. I have no intention to buy it, but I think it's cool that they
You
made
think,
it.
you think people who like hear you say that think you're speaking moon language?
Yes.
Grungy is moon language.
Especially when I speak moon language from Turn A Gundam.
Hey, it's your favorite sound out.
Yep.
Next
All right,
up.
Star Trek time with Hia Toys. They have announced Strange New World Spock. That is still not Kelvin Uhura. I'm still not interested.
Every time you say that sound out, every time you say that sound out, are you constantly thinking Ninja Turtles 3 when you say that?
Yes,
It's Star Trek time.
it's Star Trek time.
Hey,
But
man,
yeah, this
all I know is every time they don't announce a new version, or not a new version, every time they don't announce Uhura, that means they're just going to announce another Godzilla repaint or.
You should have a
Yep.
count. You should have a calendar. It's like, yep, another, no her to stay again.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
they're also making
Start
a
tweeting it at
1/12
them.
scale.
Start tweeting it.
They're also doing a 1/12 scale pike with cloth clothing that is $120. But again, still no Uhura. Like,
Here's a question: is it just? Could it be a Zoe Saldana issue?
I don't know. I mean, she's gotten toys
if
before.
Hasbro can make toys of her. How come I
But
can't?
Playmates did when the movie came out. You know, like
Mhm.
I'm just asking. Yeah, no, I'm just asking. Like, is it like they just don't got her likeness?
the
don't know
thing
how
is,
it
if you don't
works.
have her likeness, why even make a Kelvin line then?
Yeah, exactly. So
Yeah, I feel like I don't know. Are they just like scared to make a woman because they're not good at it? Like,
well, I mean, yeah, the only woman they
Their
made
Makoto-
isn't even
their-
out yet.
Oh yeah, their Motoko's not out yet, and their Persona line's not out yet, so we don't know what their woman figures would be like.
also, isn't the
There's no stu-
Motoko like a bigger figure too?
I think it's also 1/18 scale. I think.
Oh, she's supposed to be 1/12. I thought.
Yeah, the
Like-
Motoko is 1/12, so she's the bigger
Okay.
line. But the Persona is supposed to be 18th, right?
I think. I'm pretty sure they're like 6.5 inches or something like that. I'm hearing.
Like a part of me.
Oh
wants
no,
to
the
cancel
Personas
this,
are also
but
1/12. Yeah, they haven't done a 1/18th woman yet.
Cause they didn't do soccer for their Naruto
Yeah.
line.
I mean, they did Joker's skinny ass legs. It can't be a leg problem.
Yep.
Her
Yeah.
leg problem.
And they only did Kakashi, Sasuke, and Naruto. They did Mothra. That's a good point, Muteki. They did at least do one woman. They did
That
Mothra.
doesn't count. It's not a human
I mean,
woman.
I mean, it is a
There's
woman.
no
but
tits
yeah.
on. There's no tits on Mothra.
Not
Well,
visible.
depends on
Human
which
tits.
design you do.
Human tits.
All right, let's do the other toys that we got here. We got our new catalogs for Masters of the Universe. I'm just going to go over these briefly because I don't collect these lines anymore. We're just going to kind of go like, here's these things. So we've got Masterverse lineup. We've got Terror Claws Skeletor. We got Ninjor and She-Ra.
And Ninja looks really cool.
He does.
No, wait, sorry. No, wait. Did they have to rename him?
No,
oh,
he's
did I
still
actually get the
Ninjor.
name?
They got
it
the
was
name back.
classic. Huh.
They got the name back for Origins because Hasbro didn't renew the trademark right away, so they snuck in and grabbed it.
So what, did they have to call it Ninjor now? Power Rangers Ninjor?
Yeah,
Ranger
that's why
Ninjor?
like the retro figure is Mighty Morphin Ninjor.
We'll come back on about Jess.
Yep. Tila it's weird they put Kordak as coming soon. We've seen pictures of him. He has been revealed. And then there's Cobra Khan, who looks pretty cool. I think that Tila looks nice as well. And then down here at the bottom, if I can get the dang thing to cooperate, we've got it's called Vintage Collection Faker and Stratos, who are both like more original toy inspired. and then we got
Okay.
Blade from the
I
87
got
movie.
I got scared for a second. Like, oh no, they're doing Red Chase variants now.
I know, I
Like,
saw
no,
the
they're just-
gold and I panicked. I was like, no, not red platinum. Yeah, and then for the cartoon collection, we got Grizzlor, Fangman, Orko, Bo, Whiplash, and Shadow Weaver. And then for the Thundercats line, we got Lion-O, Chitara, Battlecat, Battle-Catman, Tigra, Panthro, He-Man, and Skelra.
Cat Man.
The pre-orders went up for Lion-O, Chitara, Battle-Catman, and Skelra. The
Did you get
basic figures are 20, and Skelra is 30 on Amazon, but they're 25 and 35 everywhere else. I do not know if I'm getting them.
I always still feel a little iffy of that price hike with Origins, but
Yeah.
like at least these come with a lot of accessories.
These come with a lot of accessories, and they're basically 2 figures in one, so I don't really have a problem with the price, but I'm looking at I have a problem with Panthro's massive arms. Like, what the hell is going on here?
Not elongated, not massive.
Yeah, they look like he's using Mumra's arms instead of, like, why are his, like, he has ape proportions, and he's not an ape. He's a panther.
Maybe they're inspired by 2011's giant forearms of Panthro.
Maybe, but they're so skinny. It just looks. They're Battle Catman's arms.
Oh, so I imagine there's gonna be like some armor you can put.
Yeah, because the gauntlets on Battle Catman cover it. But yeah, he has those lengthy arms. Anyways, the only reason I kind of like, I'm like, these look great, but I think I'm just gonna wait and see if I want to get them, because I do have an expensive ass Thundercats line I'm collecting already.
You're an expensive ass Thundercat.
I am. Let's talk about RoboCop. NECA has outright refused to make anything besides RoboCop and Ed 209, despite having the license like 3 times at this point. So this company, JFS Toys, has gotten the license, and they said, well, okay, there's already plenty of 7-inch RoboCops in the world, but there's not 7-inch bad guys. So they're just calling it the Villains of Old Detroit.
I was saying, the random goon squad is here.
Basically, I mean, they're all kind of iconic for those that have seen the movie. So it's
which one melted?
That was Emil over here on the right side. Yeah, it's Clarence Bodiger, Emil Antonovsky, Leon Nash, Joe Cox, Steve Min. So it's, Kurtwood Smith, Ray Wise, and then the other guys.
Are these 1/12 scale?
These are 1/10, so they're about 7 inches tall, so they can go with your NECA RoboCop. They were like, we don't need to make a RoboCop. There's plenty of those. NECA's already done it.
You can still fudge it, because I mean these guys are like perfect goons material for like your legends and
goons.
such to beat up.
Yep. They look really good. The only bummer part is because, smaller company and stuff and expensive license, they are $60 a pop.
No, thank you.
You can get a bundle deal for $275.
Hell no.
This is really like everybody that was yelling to get more RoboCop characters. It's like put your money where your mouth is moment in a lot of ways.
Brian Faulkner got a deal with Star Trek.
Brian Volk-Weiss was like, I'm not going to make money on this line. I'm not going to charge too much. Like, the fact that those Star Trek figures are 30 is nuts. Anyways, these were supposed to go up for pre-order at the end of March, but they've been delayed because of logistics. So, we'll see. Astrodad says, I'll wait for NECA to do it. You're going to wait forever, because NECA has no interest in making anything besides RoboCop and Ed 209.
$60 for those single knee joint figures. Yikes.
They at least fit with their NECA stuff. Yeah, it's cool. If you want them, they exist. If you don't, like, I'm skipping them. It's fine. I
would say that original NECA RoboCop was really cool because they had like this cool gimmick where you can there's a switch in the back of his die.
I think they kept that for the Ultimate. I think the Ultimate still has it.
That was like the cool. My childhood friend had that figure. That was one of the coolest figures he had as a kid.
Astronauts said they made Murphy, so I hold on to hope. I mean, I thought Murphy was going to come in a 2-pack with Lewis. Like, I don't really want Murphy. I want Lewis, because Lewis and RoboCop go together. Murphy and RoboCop is one guy in 2 states of being at the same time. It's pre and post. All right.
The reboot. How do you feel about the reboot? I don't think you ever mentioned
it was okay. I didn't hate it, but I didn't love it. I was like, at least they tried, but like it sort of lacks the charm just because,
remember that toy line?
Yeah, that was.
It was funny how many people hated that film, and I was like, it was just What if
was
RoboCop
okay.
took out like the bad stuff that I didn't like about the original?
Yeah, what it is it took out all the not the political satire. No, the political satire and the social satire was all stripped out of it, and that
I'll
was
buy that for $1.
yeah, like, and
Oh,
that
that's the
was
part. That's actually the part I didn't really like those ads. I hated that.
yeah,
part.
but the ads
I
were
like
context, and they were like poking fun at a commercialized society. That
I
it
love
was
how
that,
I love
I
how
like the
dark.
other stuff where it was just like, oh, this mega corporation's getting too big,
yeah.
and like people are like I didn't.
But that's
I
the thing.
didn't
The
really
commercials
enjoy
were
the-
supposed to underscore how the mega corporations were running everything.
Dark RoboCop 2 can
Yeah.
get.
Good God. Anyways, I found out that Zane Truesdale was called Hellraiser or Hellkaiser Rio in Yu-Gi-Oh! GX in Japanese, because this figure went up, and now I'm like, oh, we were robbed with Zane Truesdale.
My favorite was when Soundout was asking me this like last night, and I'm like, yeah, his name is Kaiser Rio, bro. And they just did it
I
because
think
the
'cause
word
they did-
Kaiser was no in America. They thought.
Yeah.
They did because they did. I forget. So Rebeltech, did they do original series Yu-Gi-Oh or only GX and
They
5Es
did Dark Side of
and-
Dimensions first.
Did they do Kaiba?
I think they did.
So it's nice we're getting more rival. I mean, I wasn't expecting Zane because when I think of
Where's my
rivals
Jack
for-
Atlas?
yeah. Funny enough, he honestly looks better than all the protagonist Yu-Gi-Oh figures. Like I don't know,
Yeah.
his sculpting.
Well, I
and
mean, he is the best character.
Well, because his sculpting, his articulation just looks better design. Maybe just a different. Maybe because it's got a different designer.
I do like the card throwing effect, just being like a plastic sheet. Yeah.
But like his legs and his knees and his ab crunch looks like more like your Amazing Yamaguchi style Rebeltech figures. Because God, I don't know who designed the main protagonist figures, but they're bad. To the getting any articulation range. Well, these ones
Is
like
this a Cyber Dragon statue?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I thought.
But like he looks like he has some like again some Amazing Yamaguchi design like style posability. Especially the knees. I see a lot of Amazing Yamaguchi have these weird like sideways knees and such like that. So he looks like that.
Yeah. He also, if you get him through the Kyoto store, he comes with heart attack features. I don't know what's going on. I didn't finish GX. Psycho has caught up. We got a tease for SHF Aka Ranger, but we have no word on Spider Kuminos Go on Red or Boon Violet. Exactly what I was saying about how we don't get Sentai figure arts beyond Red. Yeah.
I mean, now the door's open for rival care. So yeah, Jack Atlas and Crow.
Yes. Any GX boys? You got any thoughts?
I remember liking Zane.
I mean,
it's
it's
been
great.
so long.
Best character.
I haven't seen GX in a while, but I remember liking Zane back then. I'm more just impressed that this one actually looks decent versus other.
Yeah.
Now we just need him to have an alternative body with his pajamas and wheelchair.
I doubt you guys say you want Alexis.
Well, that too.
Yeah, we'll get that later, but they need to make her to her manga proportions.
You mean her anime proportions already whack enough?
That's what.
No. Her manga proportions, Ryan. She is like dummy thick for some.
That'll help with the joints though, because these things get thin.
Weirdly, no. The more big, the dicker a female you are, the better like room for posability.
Yeah.
No. For some reason, all the girls in GX got like dummy thick in the manga.
They got the manga. That's true. You're right. I read the manga recently. Yeah. That's true. They did.
I mean, she looks big.
The manga artist must have been
She looks big, but she looks about the same size as her anime counterpart.
No, depending on the panel, like depending on the panel, she will look like her character model, but then you'll be like in another model, and you're like,
she looks like her arc 5. She looks like her arc
like
5 proportions.
She'll be growing like Oda and Toei. Like it's like, wait, what? Like her and other characters randomly are just like, why are you thicker? Why are you thicker?
It's like, yeah, it is like Oda and Toei, right? Where it's like Oda draws the women, and they're like, they got organs, and then Toei's like, let's get those waists thinner than Zoro's neck.
We'll make them a stick. They'll be stick figures.
Yeah.
Like
Blade Raider, yes, I understand. Blade Raider says thick thighs save knee joints. Yes, 100%. Yes.
Yes.
it balances things out. It's like it works.
So what we're saying, Emma Frost Rivals figure will be really good.
Yes, she might be the first Emma Frost that can stand.
All I know is when we start getting Marvel Legends Rivals, I'm just gonna be like, money. There you go, money.
Yeah.
Yes, honestly, yes.
Right.
On.
Hey, we're giving you Sue Storm in wedding dress. Bam! You see my money just get thrown at the street. Bam! It's a deposit.
Hold on, I'm looking at. Let me look at Emma.
Bam!
Hold on.
Money. Tyler.
Oh, this-
Bam! Money.
Oh damn it! Emma still has. I think Emma still has heels in her rival design.
Let me
so-
hold on. Let's I'm gonna pull this up here. I love so much that they made Emma a Vanguard because she should.
I love people going like, man, they sexualize Emma Frost. You know who you're talking about?
People were like, "Oh my god, they over sexualized Emma Frost." No, they under sexualized her. Like no.
And then you have your X Revolution outfit. There it is.
Yep.
Me looking at them. You're the reason why we don't have Marvel Legends Emma Frost, the one that I wanted. That was only a fucking SDC.
Yep.
Oh, the Snow Queen, the White Queen.
The White Queen one, yeah. How do I fix the browser here? There we go. Yeah, she got heels, but you could adapt that easily, and the thighs will help balance it. They made her look like a tank. You know, she's supposed to be a tank. She looks like a tank. Solid.
Yeah.
Solid.
Do the Aku clip extra thick.
All right. Speaking of Marvel Legends, we had a fan stream, so let's talk about it.
Hey, it's time for you Daredevil freaks to come out.
Yep, Daredevil freaks assemble because
All
they
four
showed
of
us
you.
the gray prototype of Daredevil, and
All four of you.
yep, because nobody watching the Disney Plus show. The ratings came in and it even hit the top 10, and it's like, oh god, it has lower ratings than the Acolyte, guys.
So what you're telling me is, even when Marvel does something good, that makes actually a legitimately good series, people still don't care.
Yes, because the issue is not the quality at this point. The issue is that Marvel has made too much stuff, and I think people are just tired and they want something different. And I think that it's very clear in the viewing habits of the general audience that they just do not care about Marvel stuff like they used to. Because the show's great, but like nobody's watching it.
Unless it's Rivals.
Unless it's Rivals. Yeah, the whole Rivals is holding up the Marvel company at the moment.
Maybe we should tell them. Maybe we should make something more bold and colorful then.
Yeah. But yeah, Daredevil's great, and it's awesome, and it trends on Twitter, but it did not hit the Nielsen charts, which is wild. Anyways, also that show is held up by its actor performances like 100% as well. But yeah, anyways, yeah, that's kind of a good point. The show does it's like the show was shot in 2023, but boy, does it feel like it was shot right now. Anyways, that's Daredevil. He's got an extra new like torso jointy thing, so he can pose better.
I was saying, you better have a good act crunch, I hope.
Yeah. Then they started revealing Thunderbolts figures, which was actually kind of surprising because
but not a wave. Funny enough.
Yeah, we're getting a wave of 2-packs instead.
I wonder if MCU waves, like regular figure wise, are not gonna happen anymore. Which,
I think
honestly,
not, and I think the problem is because when was the last MCU movie that could actually justify an entire wave? It was Guardians, right?
Yeah.
Every other MCU wave has to have comic figures thrown in to fill it out.
Mm-hmm.
And then
I honestly, this is probably I think a better move, honestly, because we solved the whole the problem of the MCU comic waves, where it's like, no, if you want the comic builder figure to get the MCU figures, or vice versa, you want the MCU figures to get the comic figures, and
we're not doing retail Build-A-Figures anymore. So I think this is smarter, and I think with Thunderbolts 2, bundling them up is smart because.
Mm-hmm.
That's gonna instead of having like a bunch of single SKUs, because this is actually a full team to put together. But anyways, yeah. So we got Yelena Belova, a brand new figure from the ground up, which I think she looks the best that Yelena's looked in this line so far.
Yeah, no, I never like Yelena's looks before, but this is like probably her best look.
Yeah. And then we got a really great Red Guardian. I'm really happy with this because I feel like the last couple Red Guardians haven't quite hit the mark yet. And I think this one looks great. I think they finally nailed the likeness right. So I think this is a set I definitely want because I that'll be like the Yelena on the shelf, and that'll be the Red Guardian because, yeah, I like both of them. The other 2-pack is U.S. Agent, who's now accurate. to how his costume looks, not the concept art one we got.
I like
the last
the
wave.
really good paint deco on this one. With
Yeah,
the
I like
dirt and
the dirtiness
and
of it.
shield,
Yeah.
and scratching the shield. And I guess warning spoilers. I guess question mark.
Yeah,
Next
that
one.
shield is so scratched. It's beautiful. Warning. Here's Sentry.
I just love how it's like, oops, here's such a design we haven't seen yet in marketing.
Second time, it was the Funko Pop first, then it's this.
Oh, I didn't know the Funko spoiled it first.
Yep. But this is more of a closer to how it'll look in the movie because it's more realistic style as opposed to Funko Pop.
It's always funny seeing discussion films posts
Yeah.
toy stuff like this where it's like Sentry's design has been revealed. It's always funny to see that.
Yep, because this is an official reveal, so there you go. I think the suit looks good. Yeah, AR says good adaptation of the suit. I think so too. I think it looks good.
It just has the usual MCU-ifications, but it looks like the comic suit.
Complaining about MCU-ifications of suits this much into the MCU is like complaining that the dog can't play chess.
Yeah.
It's like, yes, we know.
Also, I mentioned this. Whoever made this render screw up cutting them out. But what's up with Sentry's wrist pegs? I just noticed them. They're like,
oh yeah,
different.
they missed the little mushroom part on the end.
Yeah.
Yeah. I will say, like, so that's the only packs they showed. I think they kind of hinted they're doing more because we should get a Ghost in.
Wait, here's a question: who's playing
and
Sentry
then-
in this film again?
Lewis Pullman.
Is that?
No idea. Oh,
Okay.
Bill
So, yeah,
Pullman's
where's that-
son. He's the son of
Wait.
Bill Pullman.
Wait. Is it the one that was already in the MCU, or another? Or does he have another son?
No, this is the first time he's been in the MCU. So.
Yeah, but where's our ghost of dead woman
Oh,
walking?
Bill Pullman. Sorry. I'm confusing him with Bill Paxton.
Oh yeah.
You pulled me.
I finally
You pulled
the
me.
Jerry.
Yep.
I've done that. I do that all the time.
One strike for wheels. No.
I do it all the time.
People are wondering,
Jerry
like, are we
Quartz.
gonna get Ghost
Yeah.
and Taskmaster? And I don't think we are gonna get Taskmaster.
Oh, they're dying.
No,
Dead
Ghost
woman
is
walking.
fine. Ghost is in Avengers Doomsday. Taskmaster, we're pretty sure is dead because they've even been editing her out of shots now in new trailers.
Oh wait, no, I was like, oh yeah, because he'll be Ghost and Bucky. That'll be the two
Yep,
back there.
it'll be Ghost and Bucky because
Poor
your Bucky's gonna
Taskmaster.
sell your Ghost, right?
Yeah. Poor
Because
Taskmaster.
like, here's the thing: if Taskmaster is dying in the first scene of this movie, there's no reason to make a new toy of her. So like she's clearly not in the movie that much. So it's fine if they just don't make a new Taskmaster. And if the last 2-pack is Ghost and Bucky, then the 6 of these will be like, here's the ones going to Avengers, So,
Mm-hmm.
anyways,
And you said, are you ready to put some dirt in your eyes?
yeah, the price put some dirt in my eyes.
You'll get your price 6 when you 6 this damn door.
So yeah, we're getting the black costume Spider-Man from Spider-Man 3. First of all, they did change the torso to have the different spider logo. That's great. They did not change the mask to be accurate to Spider-Man 3. That's bad.
I think because isn't the 3 mask more pointy, right?
Yes,
The eye lenses.
Because the 3 mask is more akin to the Spider-Man 2 mask, and it's very close to that. But in No Way Home, the mask was different. It was a different design because they had to remake it from scratch. And so the figure we got of Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man is the No Way Home version. So it has the No Way Home mask, which doesn't look as good as the original mask, but that's fine. It's accurate to No Way Home.
Yeah, it's one of those things where like you have to be like super like with a magnifying glass to look at. 'Cause I
Yes.
never knew that there.
If you
like,
don't
it's
know, you won't ever know. But they went through the
I mean-
trouble to change the spider logo that nobody would have noticed if they hadn't. And so it kind of is like, well, you couldn't also
Well,
change the mask.
no, I disagree because I feel the logo is different. Like they did the
Yeah.
3 logo